Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Going In Deep, the official broadcast of the Uranus Awards. My name's Zach, and joining with me are two of my co-hosts, Max and Xander. Mike is out, but Mike, thanks for finally liking the Facebook page.
Literally just liked it.
Yes, and before we go any further, just wanted to let you guys know today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download, and today a free 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/Uranus Awards. There's over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player, and that's the first time I screwed that up.
You're a failure.
You did fine.
I mean, like...
I've done it 10 times, and I've never screwed it up.
Well, and now that it's a live stream...
There's a first for everything.
What can I say?
You might be wondering what this is. So every week, Going In Deep, we will be doing a podcast here at Mill Iron Studios in New York City. We'll be breaking down the newest and...
I think we're doing live casts now, right?
Live casts, yeah. And we're going to be talking about... Woo! Mystery! Discussing sci-fi. Well, it will in a minute. We'll be talking about sci-fi, comic books, superhero, anything that, like, it couldn't happen in real life, and what it could be eligible for the Uranus Awards. And the Uranus Awards is coming up.
Yeah.
It's January 14th, 2018. It will be live streamed here. What's the date?
We're on the 21st, dude.
Good Lord. We have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
We do.
And that'll be live streamed right here.
That's going to be exciting.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I like it's happening really quickly, and I'm just like...
I'm also excited for just the preparations, because I love busy work.
Yeah. I think it's going to be fun.
So much busy work.
Oh, but it's going to be so cool, and a bonding exercise.
Yeah, it's going to be bonding, we're going to be best friends.
We're going to be all intimate, naked.
Wait, what?
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I didn't sign on that.
Maybe.
All right, so this is the third and final episode of our trilogy of superhero movie review things.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to call it. Superhero video podcast. So first week we had Marvel. Second week we had Fox. What is today?
DC Educational Universe.
So, Xander, I don't know if you knew this, but I was explaining this to Max after we saw Justice League.
Right.
It's actually not even officially called the DCEU.
Okay, so what is it called?
It's not. So
it's just not called anything.
When they announced Batman
what's it called?
versus Superman,
It's not.
When they announced Batman vs Superman, some journalist somewhere referred to it as the DC Extended Universe, and it took off. And even the subreddit is called the DCEU Reddit. And Warner Brothers, like a month ago, came out and they're like, "Yeah, we actually never officially called it that."
But it's the DCEU, like whatever.
It is now.
I myself sometimes refer to it as the DCCU, but
I mean,
honestly,
close to MCU, but
it's a cinematic universe of DC films. So.
Too bad their movies aren't close to Marvel's, but
which we will be talking about momentarily.
Yeah, so you want to guys dive right into it and start off with Wonder Woman?
Okay, yes. I gotta give a disclaimer. So, you guys know I'm an obsessive comic book fan.
Yeah.
I spend an average of $30 a week on comic books.
You sure do.
95%, I mean, that's not an exact number, but my guess is 95% of those comics are DC comics.
I knew that.
I love DC comics significantly more than Marvel comics. Not that Marvel comics aren't good. There's a couple titles I'm reading right now that I'm enjoying, but I love DC, and their movies just continually disappoint me.
Sure.
Even Wonder Woman?
Even Wonder Woman.
Well,
and that's where you're wrong.
That'll be a fun discussion, but...
Should we start with that?
Should we start with Mike?
Should
we start with... Oh, Mike!
Wait, we should have a little seance to channel the spirit of Mike.
Into the body of Xander.
Guys, he just so you know, he liked whatever we're doing right now. So, Mike, this is for you. I hope you feel better.
Spirit of Mike.
Oh my god, he just got here!
What was the premise of Wonder Woman?
Alright, let's see if I can pull this off again. Alright, so, there's this woman, and you gotta wonder about her. She's in Themyscira with all the Amazonians, and they're all women, but they're all really badass. But then all of a sudden she's an adult, and then World War I happens, and so Captain Kirk, he flies in for some reason, and she.
Accurate.
and she swan dives to save him, but then he's like, Nazis are bad or whatever World War One had, and like we gotta save them. And then she's like, hey, that's probably Ares. You know, we gotta stop them. We gotta stop Ares. So I'm gonna go to World War One, and yeah.
Does mystery happen?
Not really.
It's a little bit of mystery, I guess.
Mystery.
Right? We'll say that for spoilers.
Thanks, Mike. That was great.
You're welcome, guys.
You're welcome, guys.
Okay, so
All right.
Mike just said, you could call me in.
And
should we call him in all messed up for Justice League?
he had mouth
his
surgery,
teeth.
so he can't speak.
All
right.
So let's talk about this movie.
Yeah.
Apparently, someone didn't like it.
I
know we've talked about this. I know why you don't. I mean, I know ish.
it is not a bad movie.
You're right.
I like it. I don't love it. And the reason I don't love it is because it is literally the same film as Captain America, the first Captain America.
That's a great subtitle. Captain America, the first Captain America.
That's yeah.
It's an ongoing joke. It's so dumb.
I'm
Okay.
You can't give it credit for originality,
So
so it loses a lot of points in my opinion.
Is The Lion King a bad movie?
it's Hamlet.
I know it's Hamlet, but what Disney movie is original?
What superhero movie is original?
You could have based that whole film off any of the Wonder Woman stories that have been around for the last 75 years.
Well,
Okay.
Which movie is the hero accompanied by a diverse group of soldiers of various ethnicities?
yeah, Captain America, the first Avenger.
Are you sure that's all? It's not Wonder Woman?
You said, I thought you meant also.
I just meant which of the two?
We've established that both of these movies are very similar.
In which movie does Steve die in a plane?
Whoa! Spoiler.
Coming right out of the gate, breaking the rules. What a day! What a lovely day!
Wonder Woman was one of the highest grossing films of the year. If you haven't seen Wonder Woman by now, I'm sorry for that minor spoiler.
I don't know if it made more than Beauty and the Beast, but it made a lot. It's top 5 at the moment for sure.
Yeah, I mean, aren't they pushing for an Oscar for it or something?
A few. You know, it'll probably get like sound design and visual effects stuff, I would imagine. The basic stuff superhero movies might get.
I mean,
It's not going to get like Best Actress.
The cast is all great. I still know a couple people that don't like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
Sure.
I think for me, the biggest selling factor on her is literally that she's from a Mediterranean area, which the Amazonians are, beings from Greek and Roman mythology. So to me, that just makes sense. Not to mention she was in the military, so she could kick some ass. Do I think she's the best actress? Not necessarily. But she does fine with the role, and it was an enjoyable movie. I don't think you can say it was a great movie because it was not an original plot.
I disagree.
I disagree 100%.
See,
oh God,
originality is so difficult these days. I just saw a trailer. I don't know if you saw it when you saw Justice League, but there's this movie called A Quiet Place.
Yeah,
That looks so good.
That'll
be a good one for us next
I
year.
went home and tried to Google for anything that's leaked about that.
Keeping
There's nothing.
They're keeping it
Yeah,
so
that's,
quiet.
There is nothing.
Oh, they are keeping it quiet because it's a quiet place.
No, I know, but it's genius, and that's going to be a good one for us next
but what
year.
I'm saying is that's an original idea, but how long has it been since we've had an original idea like that? They come few and far between. So what I needed from Wonder Woman, I got. I didn't need a super original movie.
Agreed.
I just needed a movie that worked well. The story was good. It didn't nerf a feminist character, and it made me feel shit.
It doesn't have to be an original idea. Like I said, they could have taken a pre-existing Wonder Woman story and I just wish it wasn't so similar to Captain America.
I didn't mind that.
It
was better than Captain America: The First Avenger.
Agreed.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
Out of the 3, the first one is the worst.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't make it a bad movie.
It's not a bad movie. I love it. I've seen it 20,000
I'm
times.
just saying it's better than Wonder Woman. It's not better than Wonder
I was
Woman.
like, wait a minute. Whoa.
Like, think about this. Which of those two films has Princess Buttercup? Exactly.
Princess Buttercup?
Robin Wright.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the better movie.
Which one has the more interesting villain?
Wonder Woman.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I could care less about the
I will take the Greek god of death over a Nazi with a red face any day.
Oh, man. I guess we'll get more into it in spoilers, but no.
All right. Here. Okay. You can shut up. It's again.
Thanks.
It's okay. You're just wrong.
Right.
Your opinion's wrong. Okay, here's my thing. Da-na-na-na.
Is there any space left on that bandwagon? Is there any space left on the bandwagon?
I do love the movie Bandwagon.
What?
Never mind.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, this movie was so good. You're wrong, but that's okay. Sometimes you're wrong.
Yeah.
This movie was so good. It is for sure in my top 10 of the year. Literally of everything I've seen. It is in my top 10 superhero movies of all time. It is by far the best DCEU movie.
What makes it so amazing?
Everything. The story is great. Because I never once thought about the comparison between Captain America and that. Until you told me. Never thought about it.
How did you not realize it once I said it, though?
I realized it, but I also don't care. Like, I just don't care. It's so good. She's amazing. You have a very big man crush on Steve Trevor, do you not?
Oh, absolutely.
Steve Trevor or Chris Pine?
Both.
Both.
Okay.
It's great. The comedy's great.
I just
the
said
script is
I
great.
like all the acting.
All
I
the
like all the characters. I just don't like the plot.
It's okay. You're wrong.
Did you
The
hear in Wonder
action-
Woman 2 that her best friend from Themyscira comes back but loses her memory and she's evil?
Why would we hear that?
Oh, because it's all part of a plot to destroy S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean,
We're not the kinds of people who go looking up future spoilers. And crap.
oh, it's crazy because her best friend also has a metal arm. And there's rumor that she might take over as the next Wonder Woman.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But who cares?
That's the plot to
But, like, who
Captain
cares?
America: The Winter Soldier.
Well, yeah. Oh, you're being a dick.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my specialty.
I should have just noticed that more because you
Shut up,
do it
Tyler.
so much. But I do have a question. Where did we land on the best Marvel film / best DC film category? Like, can we include the Lego Batman movie in best DC film?
Here's my thing. Zach will fight me to the end of time with this. It is not called the MCU movie.
Right.
It is not called the DCCU or DCEU movie.
Right.
I would include Logan in the Marvel movie.
Mm-hmm.
I would absolutely include Lego Batman. I would also include the straight-to-DVD movies.
Yeah,
Out
'cause
of- out
those
of-
were on our watch list.
Out of principle, I personally will not nominate a movie for best Marvel film unless it's in the MCU, and I will not nominate a DC film for best. Or
I mean, why?
I will not nominate a best DC film if it's not in the DCEU.
Then why are they on our lists?
Right.
You know, like why?
those-
They're movies. They're full movies that people put effort
It's
into.
not the
Because those-
DCEU award.
But it should be.
It's not.
Well, you can't control my nominations. With that being said, I did nominate this for best DC movie.
Well, yeah, you have by
gotta
your
go.
standards, you have two options. By ours, we have
By-
about 10.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, cause like I'm not following that rule. I put the movie Justice League Dark in my nominations for best DC film. So
that was pretty good. I don't know.
But you wouldn't put it in there.
No. To
Out of
me, it
principle?
came down between those two.
Out of principle, though.
Out of principle.
But also, the fans are going to be able to vote on it for that.
Yeah, and
So-
I mean,
All right, I'm just saying,
I just
we've
like to
landed
stick to
on
my principles.
we've landed on like Justice League Dark and Batman and Harley Quinn
Yeah.
are eligible for that. Zach
Okay.
just won't do it.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I needed to know.
Yeah.
Back on the Wonder Woman's.
Yeah. I think it was so good. The action was amazing. The slow... Okay, I remember when we went to go see Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
no.
Stand by. Stay
Just
with me.
before that.
Stay with me. We went to go see Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and they released a trailer for Wonder Woman. It
We
was
didn't see
me...
Guardians together.
What did we see together? Me, you, and Mike.
I think it was. Was that? No, that wasn't Logan.
It might have been Logan. Regardless, we went to go see a movie, and like that day, they released the trailer for Wonder Woman, and we were like, "This looks
Terrible.
awful."
terrible.
The trailer made it look so bad. The whole thing was in slow motion, and I'm just like, what?
No, it was significantly better than the trailer had. The trailer, like every other scene, was some sort of slow motion action fighting, which slow motion has not been good since The Matrix,
You're wrong.
except for this movie.
I feel like I'm in the secret center of a frosted mini wheat. We got the sweet wheats, and I'm just the secret chill.
Well, everybody needs fiber, okay, Xander?
I guess I'm the fiber.
You're right.
The shit that's good for you.
This was one of I don't know. I've said my part. I think this movie's great, and I'll talk more about spoilers. What are your thoughts? Because he thinks it's bad, which is wrong.
I didn't say it was bad.
Shut up.
I said it's good, not great.
You're wrong. That's okay.
It's like a bodega sandwich. You know, it's not gourmet, but you're like, this is all right.
So
I'm gonna punt you.
I'll give you my little timeline on Wonder Woman here. Always been a really big fan of the character. Read the comics pretty early on, but then I stopped reading comics. But I'm still a huge fan of Wonder Woman. Then I find out this movie is going to come out. Next thing I find out, Gal Gadot is playing Wonder Woman. First thing I do, I look her up. She's only done Fast and the Furious movies and a couple of other things, so there's nothing for me to base anything on. So I'm just going to say, okay, she's going to have the benefit of the doubt from me because I can't say anything about her. Then I find out the rest of the cast is on the film. I'm like, this looks exciting. Then I find out Patty Jenkins, the director of Charlize Theron's Monster, is on the film. And I'm like, okay, I'm officially pumped for the film. I don't care that it's in the same universe as Man of Steel, which sucked. This was all before Batman.
See, we loved
We
Man of
love
Steel.
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel was fantastic.
At this point, BVS had not come out, so...
I think Man of Steel is probably my favorite DC movie.
It's my second.
And that's really sad because...
That's rough. It's good.
That's my second. I know, but
For
whatever.
me, they haven't made anything to top it yet.
It's better than Justice League.
We'll get to that.
I saw the first teaser for Wonder Woman. I wasn't any more excited than I already was.
And also,
then,
you don't watch. You're not a person who likes to watch trailers. You don't like spoilers.
I don't mind watching trailers. I only watch them in the movie theaters.
Right. You don't go out of your way to be
I
like,
don't.
oh my god, there's a trailer. I'm gonna go watch it.
The only thing I ever know going into a movie is who made it and who's in it.
Totally.
Oh, trailer's been up for 10 minutes? How come I haven't seen this yet?
Yeah, there's only 2 trailers I've watched at home this year, and they're for unrelated movies. But then I finally saw the movie, and I was already in a lot of pain because we saw it in IMAX 3D, which was super painful on my eyes. So I told myself, okay, this movie better pull me in 10 minutes because if I can't, I seriously need to leave. The movie was so damn good, I had to stay through the pain. And then I saw it again in 2D and paid closer attention. And I realized, no, it wasn't just me in a weird hypnosis from all this pain. I really loved this movie. What I needed from this movie, which is starring a character that has never had her own feature in 75 years of being a character, I just needed it to be as good as Captain America: The First Avenger. Then I would have been satisfied, but I didn't expect to actually be gripped tight by the film and fall in love with this version of Diana.
What do you guys love so much that make you say it's so amazing, though?
She's amazing.
Your biggest problem is the plot and that it isn't a super original plot.
Yes.
I don't mind that. It doesn't bother me
either.
that it's similar to other movies. It puts a female character at the front and center, doesn't weaken her, doesn't make her have to actually rely on anyone but herself. She's in a situation that is essentially someone else's playground, and she's just dominating everything.
So you just like it because there's a strong female protagonist.
That's written well, and that does well in the movie, and she evolves like a human, but she acts like a god.
But there's other female superheroes, and there's other female protagonists in film.
Yeah, and when
So
they're
what
done,
makes this one, so high above?
Because it was everything about it was written so well.
Well, we're just talking superhero movies. I can name several other films that do a strong female character better than Wonder Woman, but we're not talking about that.
She was great. I didn't like her in Batman vs. Superman. I was like, I don't like her.
I mean, I thought she was fine.
Yeah.
That movie was really terrible. The only thing I liked about it was the Batman warehouse fight.
I actually walked out of Batman vs Superman saying that Wonder Woman was the best part.
See, I didn't like her in that.
think
And then I watched this, I was like, oh, you're awesome.
I mean, it wasn't so much her; it was what they had her do, which was kick ass. So.
And all the action scenes, like the trench scene when she like came out of the trench and she like got her robe off. Come on.
Just real quick though, you said "Oh my God," but you didn't sing it.
Oh my God!
All right,
Yes.
the world's great again.
I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, and that first real battle where she jumps out of the trench and she blocks all those bullets, that was awesome. Like, come on.
I was
I agree.
I was poot lavatoing myself.
I put the trench scene on there. I also put the when she's in the abandoned village and she's just clearing out room by room.
Oh yeah,
That was probably the best scene in the whole movie, in my opinion.
But I was
Where she's
also
just kicking all those guys' asses.
I was also grabbed really early because I thought the training sequence with all the Amazonians when she's a kid, I thought that was really cool. The cinematography in that was something I really enjoy, and I'm tired as frick of slow motion, but I enjoyed it in this movie.
I think I'm just kind of sick of like these origin stories that are just like, hey, let's spend 2 hours explaining to you who this character is in case you don't have Wikipedia.
Here's
don't
the
think that
thing,
they did
though.
that, though.
Here's the thing.
I felt like it was more of a who is Wonder Woman to you idiots that don't know, as opposed to this is a great Wonder Woman story.
Here's the thing, though.
They-
Origin stories suck.
This was
We're
an origin
tired
story.
of them. We're done.
This was an origin story.
Of course it was. We see her as a kid, and we see her beginnings, and we see how she got to the
Mortal Woman status.
to our mortal world rather than Themyscira. That's an origin story, and we're freaking tired of them. We've seen Batmans, we've seen Spider-Mans, we don't like them.
The only reason, like, two origin films come to mind that I think are really great, right? And that's Doctor Strange and Man of Steel.
Iron Man.
Yeah, the first Iron Man
I'm just
movie
not a big
is...
Iron Man fan in general, but I acknowledge that.
Yeah, but
it's
if that first Iron Man film didn't work, we wouldn't have any of these.
You're right.
for those two in particular, though, mind you, those are well after the first Iron Man movie. To me,
Wait, sorry, Doctor Strange and what?
and Man of Steel. And
Great.
I think that those movies work so well, though, because one, they have an overarching plot that's more than just, hey, this is who this character is, and two, they both did something a little different. Doctor Strange is very much an origin story that's comparable to Iron Man, but you still have the whole thing with the Time Stone and Dormammu, and there's still a bigger plot to it.
Right.
Man of Steel is an origin story of Superman, but you still have these lasting consequences that have extended out into the further DC films.
Sure.
Black dildo spaceships.
And Black Dildo spaceships.
Don't get me wrong. I love both of those movies. I actually just purchased Man of Steel today. I collect steel books, and I unfortunately I got Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and Suicide Squad.
Nice.
I wanted the
thought you had the
collection.
Suicide Squad.
I wanted the collection.
Tiny person.
It's okay. And I just pre-ordered the Whiplash. Great movie. J.K. Simmons, Miles Teller. Anyway,
You just
that,
they have a steelbook coming out.
yeah,
Oh, cool.
I already have it. That's
I
besides
didn't know
the
they
point.
would do
That's
that
a
for
great
that
movie.
movie.
I freaked out.
Wow.
Anyway, sorry. I have Wonder Woman ahead of both of those movies.
Why?
It's better.
You keep
Story's
saying it's
better.
and you're
I
not
told you-
saying why.
I have.
well,
The story's great. I don't care that it's not original. I don't. I just don't. The action's amazing. The acting is amazing.
How do you feel about James Cameron's Avatar?
It's a fine movie. It's gorgeous. That's it.
It's fine.
It's.
How is that any different? That's also not an original plot.
But I
This
didn't
is
love
a
it.
retread of the same shit.
The lack of originality in Avatar isn't what bothers me about Avatar.
Yeah, I just didn't
That
care
was the
about it.
biggest thing that bothered me about Avatar.
I just
And
didn't
you
care.
are not me or him.
I just didn't care about it. It was gorgeous. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
Yeah, I just...
But I
It's just
don't
kind
care
of
about
there.
it.
It's just kind of a thing that's there.
I agree.
Yeah,
Everything
but-
about this movie was so good. The villain was great. The
No.
plot... You're wrong. It's okay. The plot
No.
twist was great at the end. Like, Chris Pine...
Next, go to the corner.
No.
Just stop.
I stay. Like, you're the only one who, like, absolutely didn't love this movie, right?
Probably.
I mean, I've met people who don't love
But
it.
if you ask 100 people, 98 of them are going to say that was a great
No,
movie.
this movie has some really great scenes that I love. overall, though, it's not a great movie.
Would you have this in your top 20 superhero movies of all time?
Top 20?
Yeah, top 20.
Maybe in the top 20, not in the top 10.
Well, think about how many superhero movies there are and how hard it would be to crack the top 20.
I mean, listen, I have a Letterboxd thing, and I have 107 movies on it. I have it as number 8.
Start going through superhero movies. I'll tell you better or worse.
Well, first one's Logan.
Better.
Logan, Dark Knight,
Better.
Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I'm going to say better.
I agree.
Okay.
This includes stuff that's like not DC, just like things that have superhero things in them.
Okay.
Original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It's been too long since I've seen that. I can't.
Who
comment.
righteous?
So Cowabunga. Winter Soldier.
Better.
Iron Man.
Not as good.
Iron Man 1.
Avengers.
Better.
Wonder Woman.
Well, that's what we're
I know.
comparing.
And then the ones after it are Big Hero 6.
About I don't know. I'm iffy on that one.
And then I have Lego Movie.
And I think
That's
that's
not a
good.
superhero film.
That's top 10, so.
I think it has Batman in it. I don't know.
That's a stretch, but I see where you're going.
Yeah. But then I
agree.
also have like then it's Guardians,
Better.
Civil War,
Better.
Deadpool, Unbreakable.
Oh, wow, you put it above Deadpool. Wow.
I did.
That's high.
No.
Yep.
I don't, but it's high on my list. It's top 10 for me, too. But
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
I would say maybe top 20.
But another thing we should discuss is the ripple effect this movie had. And, like, I saw tons of posts of teachers all over America with their kids, with their little girls, saying what they liked about Wonder Woman that was not stuff like her fighting, like the fact that she speaks a dozen languages, the fact that she has otherworldly knowledge, the fact that she the fact that Robin writes a general. They are inspired by these tiny little things that they noticed in the movie from a strong female character. That's important. So that's another reason why this movie is great, because it's affecting impressionable little girls in a very positive way,
Yeah.
which is awesome. Which isn't something pretty much any of the Marvel movies have done. Or any superhero movie at all. I think the closest one I could think of is Incredibles. And that was 2004.
I'm so excited for the new one.
I think we're going to get a wave of...
We should talk about that later. I don't know if I'm excited.
I think we're definitely going to get a wave of female superhero films now.
Yeah.
It makes sense why Wonder Woman was the first one, at least for DC, because
I'd be surprised if...
Wonder Woman's one of their poster children, you know?
Yeah, of course.
I'd be surprised if the Black Widow movie didn't come out in Phase 4. I think it's going to happen sooner or later.
I personally don't want to see that.
Also,
I would.
Also, Wonder Woman has a great companion film this year called Professor Marston and the Wonder Women, which is about the man
saw that.
the man who created it. And I thought that was a great little movie, especially to watch with this movie.
You
in the
heard that
same year.
guy's family, though, came out and they're pissed at the director.
Yeah, I heard that.
They're like, it was entirely inaccurate, that they used the success of the Wonder Woman film to sell their film.
Which they did. That is true,
they
but
they didn't do any actual like interviews with the family or anything. They did their version of the truth or something weird.
from what I understand, I don't think it's totally inaccurate. But if you want like a perfect video to watch based on which is about the history of Wonder Woman, there's a guy on YouTube named Captain Christian who does amazing video essays, and he talks about that whole story. There's
I'll check that out.
The Wonder Woman episode of Captain Christian. He's fantastic. And yeah, I watch every video essay he does. He does the one on Max Fleischer Superman movies, and he does one on Batman. He does one. He does one on things like South Park and even the movie Her, which has a positive influence on the look to the future. So yeah, that's a plug.
Think about it like this, right?
Right.
I don't think it's this biased thing of why necessarily it's been so long for a female-led superhero film. I think it really is circumstantial. Batman is DC's poster child.
Sure.
Okay?
I think it's Batman
And
and
Superman.
Superman. I think they're about equal, to be honest.
I think more people like Batman than they like Superman.
That is true.
Yes.
Okay.
That is true. I just think
We got Man of Steel
fame-wise.
first because they were just coming off of the Nolan Batman trilogy.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so you go down to number 2, right?
You can't. They're never gonna top that.
The sequel to that is, people love Batman. Let's throw Batman into the Superman movie. And while we're at it, why don't we throw in Wonder Woman? Technically, we got Wonder Woman as soon as we got back Batman. Granted, it was in a smaller role,
Right.
but we still got her very soon. So if you think about DC building up this franchise, we had Wonder Woman in the second film. As for Marvel, most people don't even know who Captain Marvel is.
Right.
That's true.
You know? I'm an avid comic book reader. I have been all my life. And honestly, I didn't even know who Captain Marvel really was or, like, her history until maybe, like, 6 or 7 years ago watching the Avengers cartoon.
Also,
Yeah, I only know her from the video
Captain
games.
Marvel's history is super confusing because of how much change that character had to go through with licensing and name changes and stuff. It's a mess, but it finally got pieced together really well.
Yeah.
Should we bring up any more points before we get into spoilers?
I do want to talk about Chris Pine a little bit. I thought he was
Always happy to talk about him.
I thought he was very good, but it's important that he was very good too.
Do you think he'll come back for Wonder Woman 2?
I don't know. I don't want to know because I don't care.
There's not even a script written. This is just guessing.
I wouldn't want to see him back. I think that would be a detriment to Diana's evolution.
Well, what they've done previously in, like...
Also, without giving spoilers.
This is just from, like, cartoons or comics or, like,
Sure.
TV shows or whatever, is like, oh, I'm Steve Trevor the Third. I'm his grandson. It's, like, the same fucking actor or whatever.
Right.
See, I don't want that. I don't want Diana to be driven by, like, a man, really, because she wasn't really driven by Steve Trevor. He was sort of just there as a small bit of motivation to help the plot move forward and to assist her rather than be her driving force, which is what I liked. And he did well playing that type of a part, because if he didn't, the story would have fallen apart a bit. So
I don't need to see him.
So
I
that
think
was
he
like,
should.
Yeah, we've seen him once. We get what effect he had on her. Now I just want Wonder Woman to move forward as herself.
And they brought it up in Justice League. They had a great moment about they said Steve Trevor, and we'll talk about that in
we'll
Justice
talk about,
League. But
we'll
like,
talk about all that later.
I don't think they need to like.
What about a
punch
flashback?
it.
I
mean, sure, but like they don't need to.
That's what they did with Haley
what-
Atwell for Captain America.
Sure, but what could we cut to back then that we didn't see in this one?
I was gonna say like I don't think they need to shoot anything new.
I mean, if you want it, you could
I don't
make
think.
something up.
I think everyone kind of agrees we got enough Steve Trevor. We got everything we needed from him, and we don't need any more.
I'll take her assistant. She was the comedic relief. She's great.
Oh yeah,
Edda.
she was
my
in Shaun of the Dead.
She started in The Office in the
Brit-
British version.
I've actually
Damn.
never seen the British Office.
Yeah.
Huh.
I do love the American Office, though. I should watch the British one at some point.
Interesting.
So should we move on into spoilers?
I think so.
Okay. Spoilers for Wonder Woman.
Spoilers! I think there's like going to be like a red background happening right now, which would be
there?
really cool.
Ares is a terrible villain
Oh
because
god!
all of
Just
these
right into it. He's
all
like,
of these
okay,
DC movies-
right into it.
and
You were
with
waiting on
some
that.
9 foot tall gray person fighting in a bunch of smoke with like red lightning or some shit.
I want to comment on how much you were waiting to pounce like a freaking leopard.
Because it's so true.
Oh man.
General Zod, where's Gray? A bunch of destruction in Metropolis, right? Even in Justice League, we got Steppenwolf, 9 foot tall gray person. Batman vs Superman, we get Doomsday, who's a 9 foot tall gray person. Who was the villain in this, Max? Was it a 9 foot tall gray person fighting in a bunch of smoke? Oh no, that was a fantastic villain. You're absolutely right.
Well,
If they make the Batman and the villain is Solomon Grundy, I'm walking the fuck out of there.
Okay.
Zach, may I say something about what you just said? You are not wrong.
You guys, this is the first.
But I still think Ares was cool because we had an exciting actor playing him. I love David Thewlis. I thought he nailed this role.
Professor Lupin
really
was
well.
brilliant.
And I loved what they did when he actually had to start fighting. They had a bunch of metal swooping towards him and forcing himself into a suit.
Magneto-like.
I loved the swirling blades, which is a really cool nod to what his capabilities are. Yes, he's generic. He's very simple. He is not complex in the slightest, But I thought the acting performance was really cool, and the fight sequence with him was awesome. That's pretty much what I needed from the villain.
I think we can all agree that all the acting throughout this film was good. There was no one I can think of that was a bad actor.
But it's important to bring up when you're talking about a certain character.
I'm just kind of tired of seeing the same villain in these DC films.
So am I.
I don't.
But the villain wasn't really the point of Wonder Woman. It was mostly her story. The villain was a side piece, and that got dealt with the way it needed to.
Also, it was a nice plot twist.
You didn't see that coming?
I saw it coming a little bit.
Not really.
I knew it was going to be...
I didn't think it was going to be, God, what's his name? He's in American Horror Story. He's in X-Men.
Sorry?
The guy.
The general
The
guy?
general, what's his... he's a brilliant actor.
Danny Houston.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's Danny Houston. And
I
Dylan's
didn't
brother.
think he was actually Ares. I didn't think the woman in the mask was actually Ares. I was like, something else is amiss.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be someone close to her, and just quickly, good for you if you called it. I'm sure you're also a vegan.
Get out.
They have to let people know. I called it! I called it!
Yeah, I feel you. I don't remember what I was saying.
Danny Houston.
I think it was great. I didn't think that... No, I didn't see it coming. I think it was a really nice twist. I was like, Professor Lupin!
What'd you think of Dr. Poison?
Oh, yeah. I've been a big fan of that actress for a while. She was really great in this movie called The Skin I Live In, which starred Antonio Banderas. I was excited when I saw it was her. She's compelling, and she plays a really interesting kind of smaller villain that I think prompted a lot of debate. You know,
What was the debate?
the debate on how brilliantly smart is this character to be a woman actually working for a full-scale army in World War One, and what kind of danger could she bring to the future, and what did she establish for the future? Mm-hmm. There's a lot there, and I enjoyed that.
I just think that she was scary.
She was
They did a good
frightening.
job, and also one of my favorite parts of the movie is when, we're in spoilers, when Steve Trevor dies, R.I.P., saddest death.
And yes,
When she's like, no, and the awesome slow motion moment where she just like destroys everyone, and then like she comes and like her mask rips off, and you're like, oh, it's great. It's great.
I thought she was a really excellent side villain. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah. This is another one of those movies that, like Logan, I don't think I would change anything.
I haven't seen it recently enough to actually say if I would change anything. I think there would be a couple of tiny things. They'd mostly be nitpicky.
And that's my thing. It'd be like, that would have been fun, but like, I don't need it.
Small tweaks here and there, small dialogue changes here and there, small moments here and there. But overall, I thought Patty Jenkins knocked it out of the park with this
It
one.
was so good. It was so good. I just don't.
Yeah.
It was fine.
All right. You mind if I ask you a question? From talking to the two of us, has the movie improved at all in your mind?
No.
Okay.
Sometimes that was a dumb question.
That's my goal sometimes with you or Mike
No, I feel you.
and you, but you know, because I talk about films differently than you guys do. So my goal is to try and improve certain films in people's minds post viewing.
Here's the real shame in it too: is all these characters are so different. Like when you lay out Captain America as a character compared to Wonder Woman, they're entirely different characters. So why would their movies be the same?
Why do you care so much?
You're focusing.
Because it's just lazy.
You're focusing on the same thing. You're not giving us anything else. Is the thing.
Because to me that makes it not great.
It's like saying Toy Story 2 is the best Pixar movie because of the sad Jessie montage, or Up is the best Pixar movie because of the first 10 minutes. That's like you have one point is what I'm saying, and you're not going to move on to anything else to actually try and convince us that maybe the movie we watched wasn't so good.
Okay. Maybe that's I just can't think of anything else that was amazing.
Everything!
No!
I get it. If it doesn't hit you like it did Max or I, that's
Or like
fine.
99% of the world.
That's fine if it doesn't hit you that way.
Was Gal Gadot good as Wonder Woman?
Yes.
Yes.
She was fine.
Nope, wrong.
Was she amazing?
Yes.
Really, she moved you to tears.
A little bit.
Did
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
You think she should win an Oscar for that role?
No.
Well, first of all, we're not the Oscars, but do I have her for Best Actress? You better believe I do.
We're just going to comment, I get in trouble all the time for talking about the Oscars.
That's why I'm mad at you
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
You can never complain again.
She is not that great.
You're wrong. She was brilliant. Was she Heath Ledger? No.
Okay, that's brilliant.
We're not looking for Heath Ledger. We're looking for someone that anybody, women, men alike, could connect to and feel for. I felt that she was convincing in everything she did on screen. She was in it.
Yeah. Also,
I did not feel that.
Again, I don't like talking about the Oscars because we're the Uranus Awards, but like it's not an Oscar role.
One thing, oh my god, I have to talk about this before we move on to Justice League. I appreciate so much that she has an Israeli accent, so they made everyone
I love that.
have an
I
Israeli
love that.
accent to deal with it.
was
That
genius.
made me happy because I was going to be super pissed if she's the only one with an accent. I'm like, where did you get it?
Yep.
That's great.
Yeah. I love her.
Because
Jew.
one thing that worries me about Black Panther is that Michael B. Jordan's character doesn't speak with an African accent,
His
but
character
everyone else
was
does.
raised in America.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
His family is banished from Wakanda.
Okay.
That's probably why he hates
I feel
them.
better now. Thank you.
Yeah. No, there's reason for that.
Anything else to say about Wonder Woman?
Um.
I'm happy Patty Jenkins is back for number 2 when we get that eventually.
Yeah. I think this movie was fantastic. It is. I mean, I'll tell you how much I loved it in my what I would nominate it for. But if you could change anything,
Yeah.
what would it be? Besides, I mean, plot.
In fact, you complained about the plot. So what would you say if you could quickly
I think
summarize
if
it?
you
What would your
change
plot?
change the time period
Really?
To what?
to modern day America.
So the story begins in modern day America.
But that would have messed up the whole like
Change-
picture thing,
Change everything then. Have her come to
including the Batman versus Superman
Have her
reference.
come to modern day
Yeah, I think
America
so.
for a different reason. Save Ares as a villain for a later film.
Okay.
Put in a different villain and have her have some sort of other mission being here in like America.
So, and you change things in BVS too.
Oh yeah. That
Well,
would be,
I would
I would change.
I would change most of the movie.
Yeah.
Is the thing, except for that warehouse fight that has to stay.
There were moments in it, especially like I will say it, in Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman, the extended versions are a lot better. That doesn't mean that they're great, but they make it better.
The extended versions are better. Like being stabbed 6 times is better than being stabbed 7 times.
Exactly. But it's better.
It's one tiny less stabbing.
Yeah.
Still hurts like shit. I wish it didn't happen. Wish it happened differently.
Yeah. What would you change if you could?
I would have to go through it again. I'm not super well prepared on that. Mostly nitpicky stuff. I'd make a couple of things make more sense. As badass as I get that whole sword in the back of her dress thing is, I think that's like stupid. I think that's not in her.
It was very
character.
like
And nobody knows.
I feel you there.
I'd make a couple of things a little bit less Deus Ex Machina, like how a woman with the perfect size dress comes into the forest at the exact moment she needs it to, so she can take that woman's dress. And like, also she beat up a woman and took her dress and left her in the woods naked. And she also had her armor really quickly able to see. It's all very tiny nitpicky things that CinemaSins has already covered. So,
And that's kind of how I feel. I don't think
Yeah.
I would change anything except for like, oh, that could have been executed a little bit better.
you know,
But like,
I love
not
watching
enough
the
to
movie.
say that like I would change anything.
Could
It's
you even?
fun.
I mean, even change the whole Steve dying in a plane.
No, Steve needed to
That
die.
was beautiful.
I don't care how he died. He died in a good
It
way.
was if he died in a different way though, I would have been happier.
Like
Why?
How? Like how would you have killed him?
In a way that's not exactly the same as the ending of Captain America.
Oh my god, shut the fuck up!
Any of those differences would have made it a more unique film.
We weren't looking for unique. We were looking for quality.
Quality is unique.
Quality is a unique characteristic, but
Otherwise,
it's
you
not
just
one
keep
we needed
pumping
here.
out the same crap.
We didn't
and
need
people
it
keep
here.
eating it up.
We didn't need it here. We just needed the first Wonder Woman movie to be solid.
Okay,
And it was more than
Let
that.
me ask you guys a question. If the gender roles were switched, would you guys feel the same way about this?
Well,
if
it's
this
not-
was about a guy, right?
Is the story the same? It's just a dude?
Story is the same.
I don't see why we wouldn't like it any less. Yeah. But I have no idea.
It would be robbing Wonder Woman of being Wonder Woman.
Why? I don't see your...
I'm just saying, it's not even Wonder Woman. It's the same plot though, but it's a guy.
Wonder Man?
Sure, Wonder Man.
If it's the same acting, same story, same plot, action, music, everything, then I think it would still be just as good.
You would not compare it to Captain America?
I wouldn't say that.
I never thought about Captain America until you told me. And I don't care enough.
I wouldn't say that because there are too many stories like that for a man. Then it would fall.
I don't
and
disagree
blend
with
in.
the fact that, like, I love seeing this woman who's very powerful. I think that's really important for today's culture.
And it's
but-
mostly the point.
Sure. But, like, I still would love this movie.
It would be fine, but the whole point would be thrown out. So it would just fall by the wayside and diminish over time.
But the point of the film, I don't think gender should be a factor of it. The point of it should
we
be...
really badly needed a woman superhero movie, like badly, and
Sure,
we got
and
it.
I'm
so.
glad we finally got one.
Yeah,
I'm not
so-
saying that. You know,
So gender
Wonder
is a
Woman's
huge
cool
factor
character.
here.
I just feel like this movie gets more credit than it deserves, and I feel like it gets more credit than it deserves because it's the first female superhero-led film.
And it works. It's the first female-led superhero movie, and it's not trash. It's not shit. It's not sexist. It works. And
So why can't it have a better plot?
It had a great plot.
yeah,
It didn't.
most people liked it. You're in the
Yeah.
minority.
Exactly.
Most people are naive. They see, oh, it's a female superhero. We don't have any of those. So yeah, women empowerment. This is a great film.
I'm a professional writer, and I've been a film scholar for 16 years. Am I naive?
How old are you?
26.
You've been a film. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna do that math.
Yeah, I've been studying film since I was a kid.
Right.
Long time. Dedicated my whole life to it. The
Wait.
question is, am I naive? I'm also a professional writer.
I'm not saying you're naive. I'm just saying this movie gets more credit than it deserves.
I disagree. Who cares except for the super nerds who are comparing it to Civil War? No one.
And also,
That's Civil War, but-
people like
Or
us,
not Civil War,
People
shut
like
up.
us have dozens of movies. This movie technically wasn't for us. Did we enjoy it? Yes, good for us, but it wasn't even for us, so we don't
How
technically
can you
matter.
say this movie wasn't for us? It's based on a comic book property. How's that not for us?
I think it's for everyone.
Yeah, it is for everyone, but it was aimed at getting women excited about something that wasn't.
No,
a
it wasn't.
man-
It was
man-driven
aimed
story.
at making a movie about one of DC's most profitable characters. That's it.
Yeah, but if that was the whole point, this would have happened by now.
It hasn't happened by now because DC hasn't made a great film since The Dark Knight.
Well, that was.
And at that time, they weren't making any other superhero films.
I mean, that was 8 years ago. If it was just about the character, almost 10 years ago, if it was just about the character Wonder Woman, we would have had the Wonder Woman movie by now, a long time ago.
But we've had Wonder Woman TV series, we've had Wonder Woman in cartoons, and people still love that character.
but never a full motion picture, and motion pictures are super important.
Before the Dark Knight trilogy, or even before this whole extended universe, what DC movies did we get that weren't Batman? Superman Returns was shit. Steel was shit. Green
just said
Lantern was
no-
shit.
Man of Steel?
No,
Green Lantern.
Steel. Starring Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh.
Was shit.
I'm not gonna lie though, that's a fun bad movie night movie. But like
DC has not made good movies.
They haven't.
Christopher Nolan broke the mold, and
They
I
haven't.
don't know
You're
if they
right.
can do it
They
again.
haven't, and if they made a Wonder Woman movie in the early 90s or something like that, it probably would have sucked. But today, it's 2017, feminism is making a huge spike forward, a huge leap forward, which is great. So now is the great time to strike while the iron's hot with a Wonder Woman movie. So yeah, they timed it in the feminist boom. They timed it perfectly.
But your
I
point
think
isn't
it's
wrong either.
coincidence.
But you're also right in the fact that they just wanted to make a good movie.
They
I
did.
don't. That's also
They
included.
did also want to make a good movie.
But it
All
also is great for.
All of their characters are getting movies. Aquaman's getting a movie. You know what they're starting to film in a couple months? Shazam. How many people know about Shazam? Actually, not that many.
Okay.
They're just trying to make films for all of their characters. The reason we got Wonder Woman now was not, oh, gee, there's a big call for a female-led superhero film. No, it's because Wonder Woman is the number 3 with Batman number 1, Superman number 2, and Wonder Woman number 3. There's literally a comic just called Trinity that's just Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Then my point still stands. We would have gotten the Wonder Woman movie by now. You know, if she's the number 3, why did it take 75 years for the first movie?
I don't know how I'm not making my point.
I know you don't.
I'm so confused.
How are you confused?
He does have a point.
I hear your point. I don't think that this movie... I hear both sides here. I don't think this movie was like, let's have a female-led superhero, and that is why we are making it. They
Right.
made...
I'm not saying that's the whole reason.
Everyone...
Yeah.
Max is talking. They made this movie, Batman vs. Superman. That was not English. Batman vs. Superman. Wonder Woman was in it. They were going to make this movie anyway.
Sure.
Right.
They made it.
Okay.
It was great. It was great because of lots of things. Also, we are in the height of a feminism like spike.
Do you
shut
think
up? Shut
the
up!
height
Shut
of
up!
feminism, though,
But-
contributes to how people
No, 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 no,
respond
no,
to
no,
this
no, no,
movie?
no, no, wait. It's funny because I'm talking. Shh, shh, shh. So, does it help that there is a spike? Yeah. Does that make this movie better because this spike is here? No. But it has nothing to do with it. It happened at a perfect time that people needed it, and that added to how good it was.
But
and
answer
then
my
wait,
question.
hold on. And Heath Ledger, people A, it was brilliant. B, when he died, people were like, "Oh, this is the greatest." It was the most beautiful performance ever, and so like all of these things added to how good it was, which. For women, people were like, this is awesome. So it helped. It doesn't make this, like, whatever. It just adds to how beautiful this movie was.
But do you think this movie would have received as much critical success had it come out 10 years ago? Exact same movie 10, 15 years ago. Would critics have loved this movie as much? I don't think they would have.
I think maybe they would have.
I have no idea.
I don't think they would
We'll
have.
never know, but I like to think so.
I don't think they would have. I think if you say you don't like it, then people are going to assume you're anti-feminist.
I think that's ridiculous.
Oh, wait for the comments to roll in.
Well, comments, let us know what you think. Samantha Schiffman, that's my girlfriend, she says, where's Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy movie? I agree.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
Next
good.
Christmas.
I think we all know where this is going. Obviously, Justice League, and then probably and then
Wonder Woman 2.
Wonder Woman 2, and then probably another Justice League movie. So we're going to be having this character for a while. She might even make a cameo in the Shazam or the Aquaman movie. I don't know. Who knows?
I think they said cameo in the Flash movie.
Okay.
'Cause they're doing Flashpoint.
I'm really
Cool,
excited,
cool.
and we'll talk about Ezra in a minute. Would you recommend it?
Absolutely.
Yep.
I have recommended it many times.
I own it. I've watched it probably 15 times. Nominations. I want you to go. I want you to go last.
Okay, actually, I have a lot of nominations.
Well, then let's start with him.
Okay, go ahead.
His stars and his nominations always confuse me.
Yeah.
After he talks about the movie.
Yeah.
Stars are based on the movie as a whole. That doesn't mean that there's not very good points to the film.
Sure.
Let's hear him.
Okay, actor in supporting role Chris Pine. Best romance Steve and Diana. Best fight sequence when she's clearing the rooms out, fighting all the soldiers. Surprise hit of the year because like we were talking about, that trailer looked terrible.
Agreed.
Saddest death Steve. Best DC film because it's only one of those two. And best slow motion moment was The Trench. I can't think of a better slow motion moment this year. Do we even have any other slow motion moments this year?
Oh,
I
yeah.
have a handful.
Thor in the God of Thunder moment coming down on the bridge. Roar.
That
Oh,
one.
it was slow motion.
That
There's,
was
there's a
awesome.
couple good ones in Power Rangers.
I think that particular Thor moment is,
I don't remember
is
any
my
slow
front
motion
runner
Power
for a
Rangers.
win.
When Rita came up from the ceiling, and when she
really-
came down, all the Rangers like flew up.
I don't remember that movie that much.
I loved that. I mean,
I like it enough.
I loved it. Nominations, my friend.
Best Picture. Best Director, Patty Jenkins. Best Actress, Gal Gadot. Best Supporting Actress, Robin Wright, which we didn't talk about very much. I thought she was really badass. And it makes me, huge Princess Bride fan, feel like, okay, Princess Buttercup grew up to be a general. Fantastic. That's all I need from the universe.
Great movie.
Jenny.
Titus Script. And she was Jenny in Forrest Gump. Can't forget about that.
I love you, Jenny.
Oh, man. Ooh. I kind of met Tom Hanks last night. He was in my movie theater for the premiere of The Post.
Oh, yeah.
I was carrying a bottle of bathroom soap that you put under the sink and the automatic sensitivity soap, and it has a huge nozzle, and he walks right up to me and goes, "Hey, what's that contraption?"
I would have freaked.
It was fantastic. Sorry about that. Titus Script, most believable CGI, best camera work, for sure best camera work. Costumes, makeup, and hairstyling, the most epic standoff between Wonder Woman and Ares, best romance, Steve and Diana, best movie poster, specifically just the one of her kneeling down and it says Wonder on it. That one, I have that on my wall.
Yeah.
That one's awesome. Best fight sequence, the World War I trenches fight. Freaking amazing. I love it. It's even better than the Batman warehouse fight. Most rock and music.
So good.
Oh, I love that so much.
And when it came on for
Holy
the first
crap.
time. Yeah.
Well, it came on for the first time in Batman versus Superman, but I was into it at that point too. Surprise hit of the year, absolutely. This could have been complete trash, and I think it was a huge surprise that it was this good, and I'm glad about that. Saddest death, Steve. Biggest surprise, pretty much just the movie itself is the biggest surprise. It kind of combines two awards. Best DC film, best slow motion, and most memorable moment, Wonder Woman in the war, pretty much. That moment gets like 3 nominations from me, which I find hilarious.
Sometimes we do it now, sometimes we do it after, but I absolutely have this for Best Picture. Best Director, Patty Jenkins. Actress in a leading role for Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Actor in supporting role, Chris Pine as Mr. Steve Trevor. Titus Script, Best Camera Work, Coolest Costumes, Makeup, and Hairstyling. Most Epic Standoff, Like You, Wonder Woman versus Ares. Most Complex Villain, I thought the twist was good, so shut the hell up.
It was good, it's just not very complex.
But I thought...
Honestly,
really
we should
liked
change that to Best Villain. It's just easier.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I've just been doing it anyway. So
we're
whatever.
changing it to Best Villain.
Yeah, whatever. Best Romance, obviously Diana and Steve. Funniest moment, Chris Pine doing anything, but
the dick joke.
Thank you.
The one dick joke in the
Yep.
movie.
Best movie poster, best fight sequence, Wonder Woman coming out of the trench. That itself deserves its own just award. The whole trench scene.
Jesus Christ, it gets me pumped.
I was screaming. I was screaming in the theater.
Most people were.
Yeah. Most rock and
Both
music.
times.
Surprise hit of the year. Absolutely. Saddest death. Best DC film.
They did it.
Yep. AKA they did it. This is the They Did It award.
It seriously is.
Best slow motion moment is the entire trench scene when she was like blocking off the bullets and shit.
And the beach sequence.
And
too.
then the entire battlefield, the beach. Yeah. I have trailer. That's not true because I did not like the trailers.
Okay, so strike that.
Strike that. Most anticipated movie because I was excited about it. It didn't look good, but I was excited.
It didn't look good, but you were excited for it?
Yeah. Am I not allowed to be excited about something?
Don't forget how easy he is to please.
The list verifies that. I can't wait to see your list for Justice League.
You remember that scene in Dumb and Dumber where they're crying at a Dove commercial? It's like a phone book commercial. I think that's Maxie here.
Anyway, well, Patrick, my good buddy, Wonder Woman says she has the best theme of anyone, and I might agree with that. Anyway,
I think we have 95% of the same awards, you and I.
See, so like,
I do like the
didn't
Wonder
know
Woman theme of the electric guitar, and I know we're going to get into this next. I did appreciate that they brought back some original theme music for the Justice League characters, though. That was cool.
And then most memorable moment is the coming out of the trench and like the reveal of the costume and the gorgeousness and perfectness of that, and the moment when Steve Trevor dies. And she has, like, she breaks out of all the metal. It was great.
All right, well, we did Best Picture already, so you want to do
Well,
stars? Or...
Yeah, what'd you give it?
What did I give it? Do you remember?
I'm not your keeper.
I usually rely on you to just remember
Well,
for me.
while you're looking that up, I gave it 4.5 stars.
I gave this 5.
What about you?
My phone's.
You
It's
suck.
okay. Take your time.
Get it together.
Take your time.
Take your time.
We've been here for an hour already.
Let's answer some questions.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, Patrick, that slow motion moment? Yeah, The Trench. It was so good.
Oh, Michael Front, thank you.
I gave it
Princess
4.
Bride.
You give it 4.
Really?
That confuses me so much and makes me want to punch you.
Do you get how stars work?
It was the same plot as Civil War, so
Oh,
like blah
man.
blah blah.
It's a
But I give it 4
B-rated
stars.
movie.
I hate you.
80% out of 100.
I literally hate you right
Do
now.
we have any actual like questions here?
Just like a lot of comments, just like basically agreeing with us and that you suck. That someone says, "Oh, Zach really sucks."
Ooh.
Just kidding.
Ooh, I got a hell yes, Xander. I got fans.
So you fancy
Ooh.
fan? See,
I get it. I get it.
I'm clever. No, I never said that. Oh, and Mike, who can't be here with us, gave it 4 stars.
Yay, Mike.
Okay.
Oh
man.
So
So
before
yeah.
we move on to our next movie,
Yeah.
we have a quick announcement.
Yeah, let's talk about our sponsor, Audible.
Would you care to?
So,
Because I'm awkward.
absolutely. So, what you can do is you can go to Audible and go to this website, www.audibletrial.com/Uranus Awards. You get a free audiobook automatically and a 30-day free trial, and you can listen to all of their audiobooks, and they have some really great ones. I have personally been super into this book that was written a few years ago called The Disaster Artist, which is about the chronicling of the movie The Room. It's about how that movie was made and how the writer Greg Sestero met Tommy Wiseau, the mastermind of The Room. Greg Sestero was also a co-star in the film, and he wrote this book. And he did his own audiobook to the book. So I read it once just myself, and now I'm reading it again with the audiobook with me, and it makes the experience even better.
Mm-hmm.
And they're making that into a movie, which comes out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm excited about that
I'm
movie.
so stoked. So please read this book, listen to the audiobook. It is one of the best, funniest books you will ever read. And if you think the movie The Room is bad, the making of that movie was even crazier.
Also, they have movies that we're going to be doing next year. Like I'm still
Books.
reading it. No. They're Ready Player One.
Oh yeah,
Which I'm so excited.
yeah. I'm sure that audiobook.
That's
is
on
awesome.
there, and I've been listening to it.
Does
and
anyone famous do that audiobook? Like,
I don't know. It's not Jim Dale.
I feel like someone with a big name would do that audiobook, and it would sound awesome. Like maybe like if
Steven Seagal.
Get out.
like years ago, like if Alan Rickman did it, I thought that'd be awesome. You know what I mean?
Rest in peace.
Ugh. Yeah.
But there's some great stuff in there. They have all the Harry Potter books, Star Trek, all like almost every movie that we have that is a book is probably on
And
there.
of course, It.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you want to give that link one more time?
Yeah, so
before
that's
we move on.
www.audibletrial.com/Uranus Awards.
That was well said.
Well,
you
thank
didn't mess
you.
up that time. Zach, what you looking at?
Nothing.
You just zoned out.
You're like an actor who doesn't know what to do with his hands.
Long work day.
Yeah.
Shall we move on?
Justice League.
Justice.
Are we doing the mic thing again?
Oh yeah. Well, before you should save that for like once you know the plot, and then you can do it.
I'm ready to go. And there's a backside.
Jesus Christ, superstar. All right,
So, Mike, let me know what you think of this one here.
Mike, this is for you, baby.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so it's a while later. Superman's dead. Oh, it's really sad. And Batman's still fighting, and Wonder Woman's still fighting, but also there's Aquaman, and he's somewhere, and so's the Flash, and Batman goes to find them, and they gotta be the Justice League, because, Steppenwolf's here, and he's trying to steal a bunch of really big Rubik's Cubes to destroy the planet or something. And also, Wonder Woman's back, and that's awesome. So, yeah,
Is there mystery?
a little bit. And it happens.
Great.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike
Also-
was that good?
Also, he said Will Wheaton narrates Player One.
What? Really?
No, I don't know if that's actually true, but he just said, "Oh, that might be true, actually."
Oh my god. Oh
Will
my
Wheaton.
god.
Will Wheaton.
Okay, after I'm done with the Disaster Artist, I think I'm gonna go audiobook on Ready Player One then.
So even more reason.
Yay.
So Zach, you seem really, really excited to talk about this movie.
I rewatched Justice League again last night,
Okay.
and while watching it, took notes throughout the whole thing.
I'm sure the movie theater
Then,
goers loved that.
Please take it away. Take it away.
So non-spoilers.
Please.
yeah, first, did you like it?
I'm happy it got made. That's like the only way I can explain.
That was the most... Okay.
Okay, so this movie has had... You're talking about the history and the chronicling of the room. I feel like they could make a whole movie about how this movie got made.
Probably.
Sure.
Okay.
Probably.
It was... I think it was right after they announced Batman vs. Superman. They were like... We're going to do this whole DC cinematic universe, and we're going to compete with Marvel. It's going to be great. We're going to start off with Batman and Superman. People were like, yeah, that sounds great.
And it looked great, too.
And everyone hated it. And they were like, oh, man, this is way too dark. This is not fun at all. So then they made Suicide Squad.
Light and funny.
Actually, Suicide Squad was already done. The reason why Suicide Squad was so bad is
nerfed
Warner
it.
Brothers hired a company that makes trailers to edit the whole film.
They nerfed it.
They chopped it up and produced this awful film that we got, and people didn't like that either.
Sorry, which film? Suicide Squad?
Suicide
Yeah,
Squad.
yeah,
Okay?
Yeah.
Somehow Wonder Woman came out and was, okay, it was pretty good. It's the best of them since Man of Steel.
I'm trying. It's really hard to.
Just we're on.
I'll let you go. It's your turn. You have the mic, please.
Okay.
I miss Mike.
This movie felt like a lot of course correction. Like they were really trying to change the whole feel of the DC universe. But I don't know if you guys knew this, but Zack Snyder left
Yes.
because he had a
tragically.
death in the family.
Right.
Yes.
And Joss Whedon took over. And apparently Joss Whedon wanted to reshoot 80% of the movie.
I wish they let him.
And this is just like a weird amalgamation of these two directors' versions and them trying to convince the audience of, no, the DC universe isn't dark. We're going to give you exactly what you want. It's going to be funny and lighthearted and hopeful while still being in the same dark continuity. And it's just so weird.
I think I have an apt description. So, like, when you're in middle school and you have a science fair project and you work really, really hard on it, but then your dog destroys it and you have, like, an hour to fix it and your friend comes and helps you fix it and you turn it in and you get, like, a D?
Yeah.
That's what this movie
Except
is.
I wouldn't give it a D, but I wouldn't give it a D.
I wouldn't give it a D.
I think we talked about, because we saw this together at the Alamo, and we were like, it fits right in the middle.
Yeah.
I think it was...
It's not as good as Wonder Woman or Man of Steel, but it's better than Batman
Suicide
vs.
Squad.
Superman,
Agreed.
Suicide Squad.
It's right in the middle.
It's right in the middle, and
It did what it needed to do. But I wish it was better. But I was happy with the result.
But that's the thing is when we saw the Avengers was the culmination of all these films and this world building. Whereas this,
They also did a better job
this just
building
felt
the
like a
worlds.
big hump that I hope they got over.
Sure.
This felt like we weren't really sure what we were doing with the last 4 movies, but we're just gonna finish this little arc and we're gonna move forward. And I hope to God they do.
Patrick gives it a C+.
Yeah, accurate.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
You didn't... We're right. So Zach and I actually felt very similar on this movie. So tell us what you thought about... you, because I know you... Yeah.
First and foremost, is it a spoiler to say that Henry Cavill is in this movie? I think people know that.
People know that. It was
Okay.
all over
I don't think
marketing. It was not secret.
It was a secret on how he comes
Yeah,
back,
the only part that's a secret
which
is
we'll
how
talk
he
about
comes
in
back.
spoilers. But,
I gotta talk about this, and I apologize.
CGI mustache.
I apologize. I'm gonna say some stuff. I just want to try and get through it because it makes me very upset. I make movies. I'm in TV shows. For the most part, it's difficult to tell how good it's going to be before it gets to the editing room. But there are very specific things that are easy to spot that you can fix, and that's why we have people like assistant directors and script supers and makeup. I'm guessing Henry Cavill had a mustache on set because of another movie he's doing. And
Sure
to
did.
that other movie, I say this. If you can afford Henry Cavill, you can afford a makeup artist to create a good enough mustache that's fake in your movie so that he can have a bare face in the Justice League, because they chose the most expensive and sloppy way to fix this problem, and now that's in the Justice League movie forever. And that makes me very upset.
So I have two thoughts on that. First
You
of all,
didn't notice it though.
yeah,
You were looking for it.
that's one of my comments.
I couldn't not notice it.
Same.
I feel
it
so
didn't-
bad about this because I literally feel like there's something wrong with me. But like I see these pictures online. They're like, this is Henry Cavill with his mustache.
more
The
noticeable
CGI.
when
very
he
first
speaks.
shot of the movie, I'm just like,
Oh, I really can't notice, and I feel so bad, and I want to notice. I believe that everyone else can
I
notice,
believe
but I
in
can't.
it.
It's more noticeable when he
can't
speaks than when his face is still, but yeah, it's there. It's not. I can't not.
It was the
notice
first thing I noticed when because
can't.
that's how the movie starts. It was him.
And then,
I can't
and it
notice
also
it.
made me notice Ben Affleck's face because they CG'd a little bit of his cheeks to fit better in the mask, and that made me a little upset too. But like I've mentioned, the warehouse. fight.
But it didn't. Sorry, but it didn't bother me enough to not like the movie. I will just. But
Yeah.
it bothered me in
Okay,
general.
fine.
But it didn't bother me enough to be like, I'm gonna take a star away. The fact annoyed me.
Oh, I took like a star and a half away because of it.
I just think the whole mustache debacle is hilarious.
Oh, I do too.
It's just such a simple mistake. They could have fixed so many easier ways, so
Agreed.
many less expensive ways. That's money that could have been
It's
spent on the other
cheaper
effects.
to get a fake mustache than it is to CGI out a mustache.
It's just
Oh my god, it
ridiculous.
is.
It's
CG
just
is expensive.
ridiculous.
CG is so expensive.
I just find that hilarious.
Like, there's a Family Guy joke in one of their Star Wars movies. Like, they make a little pink elephant walk across the screen. Like, that cost $56,000.
Right. Yeah.
Famously, in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, every time they dusted a vampire, that cost $5,000. CG is expensive, and they chose to do that. I talk about the Batman warehouse fight from BVS a lot because it's the only scene in that movie that is worth talking about to me. And the Batman fighting in this movie was so much less entertaining than that. It was so sloppy. It looked like wire foo, like really bad wire foo, and it just it made me want to barf. Batman sucked in this movie.
okay,
I also just don't like him as. I love Ben Affleck. I do not like him as Batman.
I do like him
I
as
do like
Batman.
him as Batman.
I do.
hate it.
I
I liked him more in Batman vs Superman than I did in.
Honestly,
I did too.
I really like his Bruce Wayne, and that's
Yeah.
because his Bruce Wayne is a total asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Especially rewatching this movie,
I don't get that.
all the other members of the Justice League fucking hate him.
Kind
Well,
of.
yeah.
I love it. Like, there's even a line from The Flash. She's like, you know, if she kills you, we're gonna back her up.
Yup.
Right? Like, we'll cover for her.
Cyborg literally says in that same scene, "Listen, while you were over there being an asshole, I was running numbers."
Yeah. Before we
don't-
before we don't talk about it, I want to talk about how the actor Ray Fisher, who plays Cyborg, really impressed me.
Okay.
Yeah, he was really good.
I was gonna say I knew I was gonna love Ezra Miller because I just love everything he does and I think he's great. Whatever Zach will have points about that. He was my standout of the movie.
Ray Fisher was cast in this role 4.5 years ago.
Was he really?
Yeah, they gave him this job right quick, and I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be 4
Having
years
never
before.
been in a movie.
It's gonna be 4 years
Right.
before I get
No,
to
knew
see
that.
if this performance is worth it.
Did you know there's a conspiracy theory that Ray Fisher isn't an actual person?
Get out.
Because they say his costume is more CGI than actual him.
Of course.
So maybe they just CGI'd his face.
The whole person.
Oh man,
That's dumb.
I
thought he
love
was-
conspiracy theories.
I thought he was.
Oh, they're funny.
I thought he was good.
He
I'm
was my
excited-
standout.
I'm excited for his future.
I am too. And are they doing a Cyborg movie?
They should.
Last I heard, but now it's supposedly up in the air.
That's what I thought.
They should. 'Cause
There
he
was a rumor they were
That
gonna-
was what I wanted. As soon as this movie was over, I was like, I knew we were getting a Flash and we were getting Aquaman. Like, I want a
Well, there's a
Cyborg
rumor-
over all of those.
There was a rumor that they were going to scrap the Cyborg movie and just turn it into a full-fledged Teen Titans movie.
I don't want that. I want Cyborg. I want a Cyborg movie.
You're not a DC fan, though.
I
What do you mean I'm not a DC fan?
You know,
I like
I don't
Marvel
sound-
more, but I like DC.
I don't think I'd mind that, to be honest. A full Teen Titans
Yeah,
movie.
I'd love that.
But I'm more excited about Ray Fisher doing other movies because I think he's great.
Yeah.
I agree.
Also, I'm going to say this about Jason Momoa. He's terrific when he doesn't have to talk too much. He does silent and short sentences really well, but if he has to speak a lot of sentences at a time, the delivery dwindles. But I'm not complaining at all because holy crap, that shot of him without a shirt on in the water.
Yeah, that's just like a
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, that's what all of us
Blake
look like.
Shelton, really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
You've been watching Screen Junkies.
I have.
Yeah.
Did they make that joke?
Yeah, that was literally like a whole topic of discussion the other day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Why was it Blake Shelton and why not Jason Momoa? It's literally that exact argument.
I only watched their honest trailers, so that's the only place I would have seen that.
It's literally that argument for like 20
Really?
That's funny.
minutes.
Oh, and yeah, I didn't know. I don't really like Screen Junkies that much. I don't watch their videos besides the honest trailers. So yeah, there's a slow motion shot of Jason Momoa walking onto a bridge in a devastating storm, drinking a bottle of whiskey, and then jumping in. I'm like, okay, I'm into him.
Yeah,
I'm up for his movie. Just don't give him sentences that are too long, and I'm good.
He was the one I was the least impressed with.
I was
the one I didn't care about the most, actually.
I kind of liked this effect, though, when he was in Atlantis, and they had to actually separate water so that they could speak to each other. I'm glad they didn't have, like, underwater
They said
dialogue.
they're not going to do that in the Aquaman movie.
That would be... They're not going to do the bubble?
Nope.
They're going to have them talk underwater?
Underwater.
Damn it! See, this is why I don't like you telling me things!
That was a one-time thing.
And we have to wait a year. I'm going to be disappointed for a whole
Over
year
a
now.
year. I think it comes out next December, right?
18th, 2018, I think, is the actual release
I think
date.
we need that break, though.
Mike says, "Get the fuck out with your Momoa bashing." Wait, so bring up some of your other long-listed points.
Man. Okay, from the top, non-spoilers.
I'm sorry, one more thing. I loved Ezra Miller. He sometimes was a little too much, but I thought he was good. I apologize. Carry on.
Okay, from the top. Why are they mourning Superman? It's literally a plot point of Batman versus Superman that everyone hates Superman. That is literally a plot point. He literally goes to court because people do not like him. And then all of a sudden, the movie literally opens with some little kid being like, "Oh, Superman, you're so fantastic. I love you."
Yeah, it's kind of like how Donald Trump gets packets of only good shit every morning. That's
some half-ass retroactive fixing.
This movie only focuses on the people who love Superman.
Maybe this is a minor spoiler. I think they mention in the trailers though, but there's some chaos and crime going on in the city because Superman's dead.
Right.
Okay.
They completely wasted the plot from the comics where when Superman dies, there's 4 replacement Superman. That could be a movie in and of itself.
Can you go on a little bit about that? Because that's interesting to me.
So in the comics, after Doomsday kills Superman, there's 4... It's called the Reign of the Supermen, right? You have Superboy, who is a clone of Superman. You have Steel, who Shaquille O'Neal butchered. But basically he builds more or less an Iron Man suit with a big-ass hammer.
Right, yeah. I know Steel.
You have the Eradicator, who is an alien parasite kind of deal from Krypton that assumes the bodily form of Superman, and then you have Cyborg Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's the title of that comic? Do you know?
The Reign of the Supermen.
Okay.
And they're turning it into an animated film next year.
I'm super interested in that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, they're going to do 2 animated films back to back. One is The Death of Superman animated, and one is Reign of the Supermen.
Yeah.
But I'm saying you could have made a live action movie with that. Let's see Superboy. Let's see Cyborg Superman. Cyborg Superman would be a great freaking villain in a movie. And you could, if Superman's dead, you could have Henry Cavill play Cyborg Superman without having him play like 2 different characters.
I would have been into that.
That would have been fantastic.
Totally.
But instead, we had Superman die, the Batman vs Superman. If you don't know that by now, then you're watching the wrong podcast.
Right.
I think everyone knows by now. It's been
and then, like, no surprise at all, he comes back in this.
Yeah.
Is a waste. I liked hearing the original Danny Elfman Batman theme from 89 Tim Bat. Yeah,
that was fun.
Tim Batman.
Tim Batman. Yes.
Tim Burton.
Aquaman is cool. Barry Allen is not. Barry Allen is basically Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory with super speed.
Isn't he always?
No. He's supposed to be a very calm and very smart scientist.
I did like the Grant Gustin version better. I'll say that.
When we walked out, I said I hate to admit it because I love Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
I love Ezra. I like We Need to Talk About Kevin, and I liked Perks of Being a Wallflower. Okay, he was
Fantastic Beasts.
I was gonna say he's fine in Fantastic Beasts. Ezra Miller's a great actor. When they announced that he was playing the Flash, I was very excited. I do not like this characterization of Barry Allen. If he was playing Wally West, he's closer to the Wally West version of the Flash, which is much more comedic.
One of the things that you said, though, that was that, like, you don't think that they showed that he was smart, right?
No. And I
Not nearly enough.
But I think that you said that they played him off as like being an idiot. But I don't think that's true. I think he's just clumsy. I think he's also smart.
I think he's young. I think
there's so much room
I wouldn't
for
go
him
as far
to
as to
be
say
smart.
he's an idiot.
But that's kind of what you said.
But he's clumsy and he acts like Sheldon a lot. He's like, oh, that's my second favorite chair. Oh, I'm afraid of this and this and this. Oh, this is my 10th favorite whatever.
Because I think under the right screenplay, Ezra Miller could be like an even better Flash than Grant Gustin. I just don't think they gave him enough good stuff to do.
Yeah, I don't blame Ezra Miller at all.
So
I blame the writing. This wasn't Barry Allen.
See, and as a person who doesn't know the DC Comics as well,
dude, I need Flashpoint. I lent you Flashpoint. I lent this guy Flashpoint, Blackest Night, and The Killing Joke in July. He still has not read any of them.
The Justice League movie, The Flashpoint Paradox, is one of my favorites.
Okay, so you have some knowledge
I'm
of what Barry's like in the
I will
comics.
get this. I will read that before the start of 2018.
Oh, all right.
Also, wait.
All three?
Flashpoint. Okay. I'm a busy man, and I have to plan this whole award thing.
Yeah, I love me some Barry Allen. I'm not as well versed in him as you are.
Also,
Alfred was great.
He's old. I mean, I was gonna say we have some fun things.
Okay.
What did you guys think of Aquaman's entry to the team under Gotham? It just seemed forced.
It was fine.
That's kind of where I'm at. It's just like, meh.
Oh, absolutely, it was forced. Like, where did you come from? How did you know they were there? It's fine. You still have no shirt on.
I'm sorry to be the vegan in the room, but if Mike was here, he could verify that I told him like a month ago. My prediction was based on the trailers. Aquaman's gonna say go screw yourself until Atlantis is attacked, and then he's gonna join the team. I felt like that was very predictable. I felt like they needed them to unite, and not having any sort of like a Nick Fury like character really. They just kind of rushed getting them together.
Okay. Mm-hmm. This movie was very short.
I liked Alfred a lot. I liked Martha Kent. Diane
She's
Lane
wonderful.
Was good. Yeah, Diane Lane's great.
That's stuff we already knew.
All the Man of Steel characters I love.
This was Amy Adams' worst turn as Lois Lane. I thought she wasn't trying anymore.
The post-credit scene of Suicide Squad is Amanda Waller and Bruce Wayne having dinner where Amanda Waller gives him a binder, a thick-ass binder, right? And he opens it up and there's Aquaman in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ignoring the whole Batman versus Superman, Lex Luthor files, whatever, right? Just going purely off that binder. Why is it that the world is in peril and Batman and Wonder Woman are like, we're going to recruit these 3 people? You have a binder full of interesting people.
Room to grow. Right? I mean, they showed the Green Lantern-ish. They showed the lanterns.
They teased the Green Lantern's future, yeah.
If it was like a potential world-ending event, why wouldn't he just like call Amanda Waller and be like, "Hey, the world might end. Can you like send out that Suicide Squad of yours or something? Like, we could use some backup."
We're the Suicide Squad.
Wouldn't you get as many people as possible?
Yeah.
We know that there's been at least one Robin. Assuming any of the other Robins are alive, call your former sidekicks. Hey, I know we haven't talked in 15 years, but the world's about to end. Can you come help out?
You do make very excellent points. Not denying that, but, they're limited by what they can accomplish with a movie and the amount of money they have, so...
Their recruitment plan was, let's get Aquaman. Aquaman says, go fuck yourself. So they're like, never mind. Let's get Barry on. Let's get Cyborg.
Mm-hmm.
They were literally going to try and save the world with the 4 of them.
Right.
Despite the giant binder.
You're not wrong at all.
But one of my biggest things is that they forced Justice League too early for me. I wish that they had brought in
more characters
before, like Marvel did. Like they gave us Iron Man, they gave us Thor, they gave us a bunch of movies, and then the Avengers. Like it all happened. Yeah. They gave us
6 movies, and then the Avengers was
right. They gave us like
or 5.
Batman, kind of. They gave us Superman.
Yeah. Superman twice. Batman
once removed.
Batman-ish, Wonder Woman, and then Justice League.
And I'm like, I needed one more, like, I wish Flash could have come before, but that would have messed up things because they're doing Flashpoint.
He
I get
does
it.
make a little tiny cameo in Suicide Squad.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I
some
needed
reason.
it. It just felt like they made this movie a year too early. I wish Aquaman came out this year and then
I
Justice
feel
League.
like they made it like 3 years too early.
But you know what I'm saying?
Waiting.
I needed more. I needed more before I got Justice League, because when Avengers happened, everyone was like, "I'm ready.
Yeah.
I know these characters.
Like-
I'm jacked, and I understand what's happening." Justice League, you're like, "Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
Yeah.
Why is this happening? You're very tall.
Oh, here's
That's a box. What's a box?"
And that's the thing too, is even my whole argument about this characterization of Barry Allen, right? I think you're absolutely right, because I known that he was going to be like this, I feel like I would have been less disappointed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or don't have him like that and have a whole movie where he has character development, where he goes through some sort of trials and tribulations to develop further as a character. So by the time he gets to the Justice League, he's a more mature character.
Sure.
Here's a funny thing. The time between Iron Man and the Avengers is the same as the time between Man of Steel and Justice League.
But we got significantly less movies in that time period, didn't we?
We got one less movie.
No.
There's Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk, Thor, Captain America the First Avenger, The Avengers. Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman,
Damn.
Justice League.
But they didn't use Suicide Squad in the Justice League,
They did not.
so they could have used that for
It
a
was
different thing.
Which makes Suicide Squad even more of a waste of time.
But you know, like they should have done Aquaman instead of Suicide Squad, and done Suicide Squad post Justice League, or not done it.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, that's actually a really good point. But it just felt so like, okay, I mean, I'm ready and I'm excited because it's the Justice League, but it just came out of nowhere. I was like, okay, here we go. You know?
Continue.
Okay, when Batman meets Barry Allen, right?
Yes.
Bruce Wayne is a CEO and a billionaire.
Yes.
In Batman vs Superman, they established that most people don't even know if Batman is a real person. Which, again, doesn't make sense because apparently he's been Batman for 20 years and they still can't figure out if he's an urban legend or not. The billionaire CEO is sitting in his second favorite chair and he goes, "Who are you?" He throws a batarang and he goes, "Oh, you're the Batman." So this guy's heard of Batman, who is apparently an urban myth, and
not
understands
Bruce
this
Wayne.
just by a batarang, but has no idea who Bruce Wayne is.
Right.
I didn't even realize that, so thank you. Holy shit.
But no, this guy's real smart.
Wow.
I did not say that he is a genius. I think that there is room for him to be smart, and that like he's not dumb.
They didn't write him well. is the
Bruce
problem.
Wayne.
Well, they didn't write him well if that is true to the comic.
Bruce Wayne
Sure.
is one of the most paranoid people in all of comics histories.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Why does he do all his recruitment as Bruce Wayne? Why wouldn't he try and recruit as Batman?
Make him more personable.
He literally just goes up to all these people that he's recruiting though and just tells them he's Batman. What if these people are supervillains? You don't know.
I actually was thinking about that. It's such a thing within superheroes. You'd never reveal your identity. You know?
No, and he's out now just like, "Hey,
I'm Bruce
I don't
Wayne,
know
also
you.
known as Batman.
I don't know you. I don't even know what your powers are." He tells Barry, "I don't even know what your powers are." Knows Barry has a costume, but doesn't decide to meet him when he's, stopping bank robbers or anything as Batman. He just decides to show up in his house as Bruce Wayne and just tell him, "Hey, I'm Batman. Don't tell anybody, but do you want to join this team?"
Right. No, I feel you there.
What?
If you buy Arthur Curry not knowing who the Batman is, there's a cute little scene there. It's like, wait, so you dress as a bat? Like, really? I don't get it. A bat?
Even Arthur Curry, why would he just tell him?
Does he seem like a stable human being who trusts easily? He's got you pinned against a wall, Brucey Bruce.
I was glad that Cyborg was not discount Iron Man. Because
Sure.
I know there's a shot in the trailers that they took out where he has a full metal mask. You guys remember that? Where he's flying up or something?
Vaguely.
I'm glad they cut that out because I was really worried he was just going to be
knockoff
Iron Man.
So I wish this was in a better movie, but there's an important thing about Cyborg that I am very happy about, in that a black superhero was represented as not just useful but essential. So that's something good.
Well, he's been in the current Justice League lineup since the New 52 in 2011.
I'm talking about in cinema.
Okay.
Yeah, in cinema, this is a good representation of a black superhero, is what I'm saying. I just wish it was in a better movie.
It bothered me, though, that, I guess this is a minor spoiler, he never uses a boom tube.
I'm not exactly sure what that is.
So the mother boxes can create what's called boom tubes, which we see, that's how Steppenwolf transports.
Right.
Cyborg gets all his cyborg parts from the mother box.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In the comics, he's connected to the planet Apocalypse through the mother box and through apocalyptian tech.
Okay, so he's able to like create a boom tube.
Cyborg has the ability in the comics to create boom tubes, and that's usually how he travels around. Not once in this film, despite in Batman vs. Superman, they established he was created from the mother box, does he ever create a boom tube.
Okay.
That kind of bothered me.
He probably didn't know, did he? Because like he's just learning like what he is and what he can do.
Also, we have a question. Why did they even search for Cyborg if they think he's dead in the first place?
No, they comment that he's deceased. They know he's not dead, and that's why they were interested in him.
Right.
Victor Stone, as a human, was pronounced deceased after whatever happened to him.
Right.
But they knew that he didn't actually die, or I guess was brought back to life.
Yep.
Continue.
Last thing I had was something I already mentioned, is that I really like that Bruce Wayne was an asshole. And I have a list of my favorites.
You did mention that.
It's so funny how much you relate to this character.
Bats of a feather?
Him egging on Diana about Steve Trevor and her dead boyfriend, and she punches him.
That was a great part.
I appreciate that, because he's like, I don't give a fuck that you're a demigod. I'm still going to talk shit to you.
Mm-hmm.
Aquaman lifting him up and him still looking him in the face being like, do you actually talk to fish?
Mm-hmm.
And he mentions it again later on. He's like, wait, do you talk to fish? Like, just asking for that clarity pissed him off again. I mentioned the Cyborg line while you were busy being an asshole. You mentioned the Flash line of, if she kills you, we'll cover for you. But my ultimate favorite is when Alfred says, what if Superman doesn't want to be brought back to life? And Bruce's response is, he'll get over it.
Yeah.
That was great.
There were great moments. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie because I was expecting it to be bad.
It is bad.
I disagree with you. But...
Why are you pointing at me? He's the one who said it.
I wasn't. I was
think
doing
he's just
this.
sort of used to pointing at you.
Yeah,
That's probably true. No.
It's
But,
like a reflex at this point.
right. No. I really did enjoy this movie. I think there was a lot of flaws, but I think it had really, really great parts.
Just like The Amazing Spider-Man 2, there's a good movie somewhere in there kind of cowering and beaten down and scared, and we just need to bring it out.
I think you feel about this movie the way I feel about Wonder Woman. Not that I don't feel this way. Not that I don't feel the same way about this movie, but what you just said is my description of Wonder Woman.
So, since we mentioned Wonder Woman, another thing that makes me angry about this movie is this movie's trying to tell me that after all the badass shit and all the heroic shit she did in her own movie, she did nothing for 80 years while there was another world war. She just sort of fixed antiques and she occasionally stopped a bank robbery.
Bruce calls her out on that, and then in a later scene, she comes and she's like, no, I've been operating in secret this whole time.
Yeah, but like...
Which makes no sense.
But we can also get that in Wonder Woman 2. Like, what she did.
Do you think Wonder Woman 2 is going to be another flashback movie or a feature? I don't know,
but I feel you.
Another thing is that, correct me if I'm wrong, because you know lots more about the DC comic universe than I do. Isn't Wonder Woman's strength supposed to be either at the same level or just like maybe a hair below Superman's? Isn't she supposed to be way stronger than she was in this movie?
They definitely overpowered Superman. That's something I mentioned in spoilers.
I was going to talk about that in spoilers too.
Did they overpower Superman or did they underpower Wonder Woman? Because
I think they more... I'm going to go with underpowered Wonder Woman.
Yeah. I felt like she should have been way
Or
stronger.
maybe
after-
underpowered to everyone, because technically Aquaman should be as strong, if not stronger than Superman, actually.
Well, not stronger, but like 80 years of operating, even in secret, should have made her stronger than that.
Aquaman should be able to take on Superman one-on-one. Aquaman is incredibly strong.
But we'll talk about this in the spoilers. But like in that final fight, I was like, they didn't. Wonder Woman is stronger than that.
Yes, she's supposed to be.
And then all of a sudden, something happens that we'll
there's-
get to, and then it's like, oh, now it's okay. Now everything's good.
Minor spoilers, there's all these jokes online about, oh, Justice League, you mean Batman and his bitches. This movie felt like Justice League was Superman and his bitches.
Yeah, one of the major things that people make fun of about Dragon Ball Z is that it's 30 episodes of waiting for Goku and then Goku kicking ass. It's kind of like
Yeah, it sure was.
Really well said.
as much as I love Dragon Ball Z, that is so apt.
That's very correct. Should we move on to spoilers?
I guess
I
so.
got a whole nother list.
All right. Well,
Are any of these spoilers? Like, is it safe to just move on to spoilers so we can, or do you want them to be in the non-spoiler section?
No, these are all spoilers.
Okay,
all right.
then spoilers.
Spoiler alert! It's a ghost story, apparently.
We never talked about that movie.
So I don't know why I actually put
we can
this
do
in
it Instagram Live or something.
I don't know why I put this in the spoilers section. I guess it's a fun Easter egg you'd appreciate more.
Right.
But I like the newspaper with David Bowie, Prince, and Superman, and it says, "Did they return to their planet?"
So good.
I thought that was cool.
I enjoyed that. I did enjoy that.
The villain in the courthouse for Wonder Woman's intro. What a waste.
Is he supposed to be bigger than that?
No, I'm saying he was nobody, and they could have put somebody in. As big as the DC universe is, you realize how many villains there are? Like, even put a B-list villain in that one scene, just for a little cameo.
Okay. I would have been cool
They
with that.
wasted an opportunity there. Instead, it was just like some generic
Robber.
domestic terrorist or whatever.
That moment though, where she was bouncing all the bullets off, was kind of cool.
He even says,
All the action with her is amazing.
the terrorist even says, we want to blow it up to go back to the Dark Ages. That sounds like Supervillain 101.
Yeah, and
You're telling me in the entire DC encyclopedia you can't find one supervillain to make a 10-minute cameo?
also, what was that building anyway? If they
It was a
blew
courthouse.
if they blew that up, would that take everyone back to the Dark Ages, or would it just blow up a
I
courthouse?
think they were just trying to like make it bigger than it was.
Congrats, you
Yeah.
killed some children and blew up a courthouse.
Like, that's not gonna. I was like, no.
That's not going back to what's that TV show, Revolution, where they're all back in the Dark Ages. Is that right? The one with Gus Fring.
Bless you.
I'm not sure.
Sorry.
As much as I appreciate all the theme songs, and I love the Wonder Woman theme song, there was no hard electric guitar. They nerfed it. They did like a much softer version of her theme.
Ever since I learned what nerfing meant, I've been using it so much.
It's a great term.
It really is.
They
I got
made
it
a
though.
softer theme.
I mean, I could have just had that the whole time, and it would have been great. But I got it.
The plot was
I had enough.
easily predictable. There's not
Totally.
really any twists or surprises at all.
Agreed.
I don't even know why we have a spoiler section, because there's not really too much to spoil, I guess.
Someone said could have been Maxwell Lord in the position, or at least an Easter egg of them working for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
It was like a muted version of it.
Yeah. Regarding music, I loved that Gary Clark Jr. cover of "Come Together" during the end credits. I thought it was awesome.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's good. I like the opening song too. I remember what it was. If you
was
guys know what the
something.
opening song was, please let us know.
I
but
don't
it's
really
pretty
remember. I've worked like 6 shows of this movie so far in the movie theater.
good.
and I
The
don't really
opening
remember.
with the music and the montage felt very Watchmen to me, and I really like the Watchmen movie, so I was happy.
Oh, I hate that fucking movie.
What?
Yeah, I despise it.
I mean, obviously it's not as good as the graphic novel, but it's
That's-
still a good movie.
I'm not a giant comic reader anymore. I actively read The Walking Dead and Deadpool comics, and I read Watchmen every year. It's one of my favorite books ever, and I hated
Good.
that movie.
You gonna read Doomsday Clock?
Absolutely.
First issue comes out tomorrow.
I'm excited, and I already have the download ready
Nice.
to go. So, but yeah,
Aquaman. I loved Aquaman, but if you look back, he actually doesn't really use any of his powers.
I loved shirtless Aquaman. I'm gonna say that
I-
over and over.
I didn't care about him.
I cared about his abs.
Well, duh. But like, I only cared about him when he was not with the Justice League. I liked him when he was in that little village. That's it.
In comics, like, they've taken the whole idea of him talking to fish and adapted it into, like, him kind of psychically controlling sea monsters.
Good word.
There was no sea monsters in this. I hope we get some in Aquaman, but
Yeah.
I don't know, what do we really get? Like,
I know we're getting Black Manta.
yes, and Ocean Master.
Yes, and that's Guy Pearce, I think, right?
No, it's
someone famous.
the guy from Watchmen.
Everybody Knows by Leonard Cohen.
Matthew Good.
Was that the opening song?
Yeah, I think so. But it was a cover. It was a female singing, I think.
And we'll talk about the cast of Aquaman another time.
So yeah, Aquaman could have used more powers. Probably my biggest complaint is how much stuff they cut out.
Oh yeah,
I'm really excited for when the movie, like the Blu-ray comes out and they give us all the deleted scenes.
It did feel like so much was cut out.
They cut out Cyborg's complete origin.
Mm-hmm.
That was all filmed. They cut out Iris West and Barry saving Iris, who was played by Kiersey Clemons.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, that's
Cut
good
her out.
casting.
They cut out Willem Dafoe as Volko,
Yep.
who was Aquaman's advisor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We'll get him in Aquaman, obviously.
And all of this was filmed.
All this was filmed.
That's why I'm
and
pumped for when it comes out.
Joss Whedon cut it.
I already pre-ordered the Steelbook
Wow, oh my god.
because I'm excited about those deleted scenes.
I want to see an extended version of this so bad.
I kind of don't.
I tried to look for this just so I don't sound like an asshole. But this whole movie revolves around the parademons feeding off of fear, and I don't think that's in the comics at all.
Yeah, how about that Lion King ending?
Where they just
Where
devour him?
That gave me Hyenas and Scar vibes.
See, that seemed
all
like
the
such
way.
a really half-assed way to get rid of him, though.
Yes, it did.
Because parademons don't feed off of fear.
Mm-hmm.
It just seemed like a really crappy way of, hey, we're all together, let's get rid of him. Cyborg should have been the third mother box.
Interesting.
Like himself.
Yeah, he himself should have been the third mother box. I think that would have been a much more interesting plot point instead of, oh, they're looking for the third mother box. It's been hiding under my bed this whole time.
Right.
If that did happen, you'd totally get some Harry Potter fans complaining that it's a ripoff of that. You know what I mean? Because Harry Potter's a Horcrux.
But literally, I mean, it's not like his dad built that cyborg, body for him.
I'm just saying,
it comes from the mother box.
What you're explaining is better than what we got. I'm just saying what would happen.
That's why you can create boom tubes in the comics. I like the Green Lantern and Zeus cameo in the little flashback.
Oh, yeah.
Zeus?
Yeah, he's like throwing the lightning at him. There's Ares too.
I kind of don't remember that.
Okay, I was actively looking for that.
He's fighting with Zeus against the parademons
I didn't see it.
in the flashback.
I think I will watch this movie one more time just to get a few of the things I missed, but I don't expect to like it any better.
They say in the flashback that the Atlanteans were forced undersea. In the comics, Aquaman's great grandfather or whatever actually sunk Atlantis, and that's why it's under the sea. So I don't know why they just retreated under there. I think that's a little weird and kind of a waste of a pivotal, plot of that character's backstory, I guess, or expanded universe. They don't explain at all how Cyborg or Barry got their powers. You're just supposed to go with it.
That was one of my big things. Again, origin. I needed that before they made Justice League.
In
Continue.
the current comics, Cyborg gets injured when the beings of Apocalypse and the parademons come and invade Earth. He's damaged in the battle, and then they use some Apocalypse tech to do that. Obviously, beings from Apocalypse come after he's already Cyborg, so how did he get his body all messed up like that? And Barry Allen...
Didn't they show that in Batman vs. Superman, the video of an explosion or whatever? Or...
No, they just show his body on the wall, and
Right.
he holds up the mother box, and
Yeah.
he's Cyborg. They don't explain how his body got like that.
Okay.
And Barry Allen, they say you were hit by a bolt of lightning. Barry Allen was hit by a bolt of lightning while he's in his CSI lab, and the chemicals mixed with the lightning give him his powers. If he's not a CSI yet,
How did that happen?
where did the chemicals come from? Were there chemicals, or was it just a random bolt of lightning? It's like, well, you're dead, but you get superpowers.
That was one of my biggest problems with the movie. Is I needed to learn more about these characters because I also try to go into these movies not thinking about the comics and just be like, how did this character come to be?
I think they just half-assed it. They're just like,
I agree.
We need Flash and Cyborg. Don't worry about how they...
I think they could have done a better job of explaining them. I agree 100%.
Steppenwolf gets the boxes like they're nothing.
He sure does. He just like bolts of light, which is just the every superhero movie ever. Giant beam of light.
Like the whole Amazon playing keep away thing was a great fun scene, but in retrospect he gets it with ease, and he gets the one from Atlantis easy too. It's like nothing.
And then he gets the third one just like easy.
Everyone has a crush on Wonder Woman. Except
shocked?
Cyborg.
Are you shocked?
I was gonna say, is that a bad thing?
It's not.
I mean,
surprising.
No, but it just felt a little weird and forced.
Like she's the one woman character. Everyone has to have a crush on her.
Yeah.
Gag me.
After the fight in the tunnels, why does Cyborg just bring them the mother box? They go, oh, Steppenwolf is looking for the mother boxes. And Cyborg is like, oh, I know where that is, and flies off. And then when Commissioner Gordon's talking to them all, he just comes back holding it.
Yep.
If you know this guy is looking for these, why would you just bring it out of hiding? Wouldn't you hide it even more?
Yeah.
There's no amazing Batman fight comparable to the warehouse.
Yeah, the Batman action sucked. Really
There was
hard.
no black
did.
suit Superman.
That was
Really
annoying.
disappointing.
That was annoying.
More turnout. I wrote more turnout for soups, and I don't know what that means.
I'm into it though.
Like more Superman, actually, better scenes for Superman. You think?
I have no
Better
idea.
mustache.
Because like there's a line where Amy Adams is like, "You smell good," or like, "Did I smell bad before?" Like, no. Like, what the fuck was that line about?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense why Superman comes back evil.
Okay, yeah. I want to talk about, so this is one of the big things that everyone was like, okay, how does he come back? Zach, would you like to explain how Superman came back?
Oh, in about 5 minutes, they come up with this random idea that the mother box brought back Cyborg to life. So maybe it can bring back Superman to life. But the Genesis chamber in the Kryptonian ship also brought back Zod to life. So maybe if we mix the two, then it'll bring Superman back to life. But just to be extra sure, you should add in a bolt of lightning from the Flash. And they just came up with this on the spot, and they were like, yeah, let's do it, and
It worked.
it worked.
And
But-
he was bad,
Yeah.
which I expected.
He doesn't remember anyone except for Batman, who he remembers he hates,
Which I think was actually just unfortunately funny.
and Lois. And as soon as he sees Lois,
Bring in what was it, the secret weapon?
Yeah.
the big gun.
The big gun. I was like, I know it's Lois, but why did you say the big gun? That was lame.
To keep it for the.
No, I know. I
Wait,
know.
wait.
Because mystery happens.
Shut the.
When he wakes up though, he's incoherent, doesn't know what's going on. I think they make a comment like, "Oh, your adrenaline is increasing," so he's scared. He's like back to basic functioning, almost like very primitive. And then as soon as he sees Lois, he's just like full-fledged conversation. Oh, did you miss me? Ha ha.
It was Patrick Wilson we were trying to think of earlier.
Yeah.
Patrick Wilson.
Ocean Master.
Yeah.
And why is it that when they bring Superman back to life, they leave the mother box in the middle of a parking lot?
And that's when he got it.
Steppenwolf didn't even have to fight anyone. He just had to teleport to the parking lot and pick it up.
Earth's mightiest heroes.
Yeah. I agree. I have a question for you, though. When we came out of the theater, you were very, we were talking, you were like, I just want this movie to be good. Like, I don't need it to be great, I just need it to be good.
I think I said fun.
Yeah. When we got out of the theater, you were like, I think that's kind of what you got. But after watching it again last night, it seems like your opinion has changed.
No, I still think it's a fun film. I'm not changing my score. I think I've noticed more criticisms watching it a second time.
Yeah.
It's still a fun movie, but like I said in the very beginning of talking about this, I'm just glad they got over that hump.
just like the Justice League.
Of just like these 5 movies coming to an end, and I hope from here on out they just have good movies.
Yeah, sure.
If DC's first 5 films are not amazing, then that's fine if you make good ones.
Sure.
We've learned from Wonder Woman they have the capability to make a good one. They just don't.
Well, I'm hoping Aquaman's good. That's
I hope it is,
James
too.
Wan directing.
He's a very good director who often makes bad movies, but I know he's a good director.
James Wan's a great director.
So, I think the last thing we should talk about is the end credits scene.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really...
That's
cool.
I can take this one, I guess. Cuts to jail where Lex Luthor is. And then there's a guard. He's like, "Come on, Luthor, don't make me come in there." And then he goes in there, and it's not Lex Luthor. It's just a bald guy. But then it cuts to a boat, and a boat is going up to a very large yacht, and a dark figure gets off the boat. And who is it? It's Deathstroke, played by Joe Manganiello. And then Lex Luthor's on the yacht, and he's like, "Let's form a league of our own."
Mark Zuckerberg's there.
God. I don't know if I've told you guys this, but I hate that performance as Lex Luthor.
Everyone does.
So
That's not news.
terribly much. Like, about as bad as I hate Jared Leto as the Joker. It's a red hot fury for me.
That was the Joker.
I like both of their performances.
It's a red hot fury for me. I'm very close to Lex Luthor. It's what my mother calls me. So I want that character to be good, and I want that performance to be good, and it's terrible.
But at least they're keeping continuity, so...
Continuity of shit!
But now there's a lot...
But yeah.
They
Now-
got shit, and they're sticking to their shit!
Good. Because now there's a lot of talks about, throwing the continuity out.
I just remember for about 4 days, everyone thought Bryan Cranston was going to play Lex Luthor, and I was stupid excited about that.
I would have lost my mind.
I'm almost positive he came out and said that they never talked to him about it. Like, that was
They never did talk to him about it.
possibility.
It was a hoax created by a stupid fan whom I want to punch in the stupid face.
No, that was someone stupid that was watching Breaking Bad and said, "Hey, this guy's bald. He could play Lex Luthor."
He would have been so
And he even
good.
came out. He even said, "You can shave
okay,
any
he was
actor's
Zordon.
head. You can shave any actor's head or put a bald cap on them. The fact that I'm bald does not mean I should play Lex Luthor."
But
He was great as Zordon.
He's a great actor. He would have been so good as Lex Luthor. Holy crap.
But that's the thing about Bryan Cranston. He's a great actor. He'd be great in a lot of different roles.
Yeah, and Lex Luthor's one of them. Excuse me.
Calm down. Shut up.
Yeah, right
I'm
there.
just so passionate.
Clearly.
Is that what it is?
Your 2-page
He'd
essay.
be great as Commissioner Gordon. He'd
Sure.
be great as Mr. Freeze.
I really hope we get more J.K. Simmons. I really hope we get more.
Well, we
of
get him in the Batman movie that Matt Reeves will do.
But now we might not get Ben Affleck. Now there's talk about
Right.
Jake Gyllenhaal replacing him.
Right.
What is that about?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I'm
I'm really
not.
fine with that. I don't.
What is that about?
There's a rumor that because Justice League did so bad, they're just going to throw out continuity and just make standalone films that aren't connected really to one another.
Ben Affleck says he doesn't want to be in Batman.
Just flashpoint it and make Thomas Wayne Batman.
Bruce Wayne. Ben Affleck is Schrodinger's Batman. Every other week, he's in and he's committed to the role.
Yeah.
And then the next week, he's out and he's looking for a good way to exit. And then the following week, he's in and he would never leave the role because he loves it. And then the following week, it's every week it's back and forth.
Get out.
Yeah.
Not you. Him.
Okay.
Every week it's back and forth.
He's right, though.
Yeah, but I don't. I would go as far to say as he is my least favorite Batman
See,
of every single Batman I've ever seen.
Clooney.
I would put him
Val
below.
Kilmer.
I actually like Val
I like
Kilmer.
Val Kilmer.
I don't think he has a great Batman movie, but I think under better circumstances, he would have been more fantastic than that.
I like Ben Affleck as Batman. What I don't like is someone that's not enthusiastic about the role.
And I don't like these movies.
And I don't like continuity shifts like that where we're just supposed to see Jake Gyllenhaal in the same continuity and be like, "Oh yeah, that's fine."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm interested to see how that happens and what they do.
Well, people have even talked about doing like a passing down of the torch where Nightwing takes over as Batman or
That's
something.
fine. I don't.
That's not fine.
I'm fine with that. I like as long as Ben Affleck is out, and that's not me shitting on Ben Affleck because I think he's wonderful. I think I love so many of his movies. I just really don't like his Batman.
It's too
So I
early
hope-
for a swap like that.
But if he's out, then like figure it out.
I don't know about you guys, but I am spent on this discussion here. I think we should move on to wrapping it up here.
I'm fine with
if
that.
you guys are cool with that.
Yeah.
Any like last thoughts?
I
Before
mean, I
we
could
do?
bitch all day about
Yeah,
this.
me too. Really, we all know where this is going. No reason to talk about that anymore. Would you recommend it?
Everyone's just like yeah.
I'm waiting for you. My answer's no.
My answer is yes. I think you would enjoy this movie. I think, again, like, people know who Superman is. People know who Batman is. If you go see this movie without have seen Batman vs. Superman, you might be a little confused about, like, wait, Superman's dead? But I think that you would enjoy this movie. I don't think it's as good as Wonder Woman, but I think, yeah, I would recommend it.
I mean, yeah, I didn't. When I take tickets for the Justice League movie, I say the same thing to everybody. I hope you enjoy the show, and I do, because, if you enjoy any movie, good for you. Have the time of
Absolutely.
your life. But
It's a
I
fun
didn't.
movie. I'm glad it got made. If you want to see a better Justice League movie, watch the animated Justice League War.
Yeah.
To me, that's significantly better.
This year's Justice League Dark and Justice League The Flashpoint Paradox, there's lots of good Justice League stories that have been made into movies.
Is this great, though? No.
Nope.
Would I recommend it? I don't know. I guess it really depends on to who.
To people like us, maybe.
Yeah, if you like superheroes and you like comic books, then why not? You know?
I feel like action.
Honestly, Thor Ragnarok's still in theaters. Go see that.
Yeah, I'd probably recommend Thor before I recommend
Well, of course.
In fact, after Justice League, I had to wash my mouth out with Thor.
Get out.
No, Thor, not Get Out. Nominations, Zachwell.
You're dead to me.
I had to get some of the "You're Dead to Me" off of him.
Nominations. Best camera work. I said it before. I think Zack Snyder's really good at catching a shot.
And making it really slow.
Just in most of Zack Snyder's films, you could pause the movie at any point, and that image looks like it's something that you could hang up on a wall. I think that's his best talent, is just how he gets his shots. Supporting actor Jeremy Irons is Alfred.
Really? You liked him that much?
I liked him that much, yeah. Costumes, makeup, and hairstyling. Best movie poster, the Alex Ross version that almost looks like the painting.
Oh, we have those on our walls at the theater.
Can you get me one?
No, I mean, it's like part of the elevator door and part of the wall.
I think his point still stands.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we don't have paper ones. If I had them, I would.
And although it makes no sense in continuity, I did like the intro with Superman, with the little kids talking to him and him being the cheerful Superman that we've been begging for 4 years. So the Feels Award for that.
That's cute.
It gets 2 from me. Coolest costumes, makeup, and hairstyling. Again, that's good. They just did what's already been established. They didn't screw it up. Although, if they changed the Amazonian armor to like bikini armor, and that pissed me off.
But
There's
they
a
did
reason.
make a point that that's not all of them.
Not all of them, but
There's also a
not
recent.
none of them.
But there's also a recent article. One of those Amazonians wrote this whole thing about like I'm proud of my body and like I am. It was just an interesting thing.
That's not the point.
There's also been a 100-year difference on Amazon or on Themyscira.
All I'm saying
But it just makes
is,
no sense that they wouldn't have armor.
All I'm saying is, the costume designer on Wonder Woman was a woman. The costume designer on Justice League was a man. It shows. And that's all I'll say about that. The other nomination I gave it was Worst Kept Secret, Superman Comes Back to Life.
I don't think that was a secret.
I think they were trying to keep it a secret as they kept Henry Cavill out of all the press and advertising.
They literally
No,
today added him to the poster.
But he was in a lot of the promotional stuff.
He was in none of the trailers.
He was in the last trailer.
I didn't.
The one where it looked like it was being a dream, yeah. But whatever. Okay. My nominations,
Oh yeah.
and I keep this as I'm pretending that like I haven't seen the rest of the movies of the year. I'm not trying to like dwindle down. So, actor in supporting role, Ezra Miller's The Flash, Ray Fisher as Cyborg. Coolest costumes, makeup, and hairstyling. Most people will CGI. Most epic standoff. The Justice League versus Superman. That was really great.
That was pretty good.
Movie poster. Going back to the comics, I think it's great. Worst kept secret. Superman comes back to life. Best DC film. They did it. They did something. Best slow motion moment is the Flash trying to get Superman, but Superman eyes him and he's like.
That was a nice.
That was so funny.
That was funny.
And most anticipated movie.
I do have a question for you, Maxie Max. If you and I feel the same way about the CGI mustache magic, how can you give it the CGI award?
Because
did you not feel like the rest of this movie felt like kind of a shitty painting?
No,
CGI looked like crap.
That didn't dwindle my opinion of the movie. I was just annoyed.
What did you think about the quality of Steppenwolf? Because I thought he looked a little cartoony.
But I don't know.
I don't know. The CGI in these movies kind of bless me a little bit.
I liked it. Would I put it in my top 5? No. But I'm doing my nominations as if it was the first movie of the year.
Okay.
Alright.
And
if this was, we only have a few more movies
it's
left.
It's the equivalent of, I'm going to nominate for best CGI because it had CGI.
No, because I actually enjoyed it, except the annoying thing.
If you actually enjoyed it, then fine.
Yeah.
Best picture.
No.
No.
Nowhere near.
And final scores, Zach?
I think you gave it 3.5.
Really? Okay. 1.5.
Whoa.
Yeah, 1.5 because of Ray Fisher. And actually, I'm going to create a nomination here. Best shirtless moment, Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Blake Shelton, really? Wow. Okay.
Well, that was something.
1.5.
So I originally gave it 4. After talking about it a lot, I think I would change it to 3.5.
Okay.
But I still really enjoyed it.
Ooh, let's see if Mike gave us a score there
Mike,
in the comments.
Mike,
Did
anything?
Did he?
Oh, Mike gave it 3.5.
Okay. Well, that wraps up, I think, our longest episode to date. Full 2 hours.
Jesus. I'm so hungry.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us for our live stream talking about the DC superhero movies of this year. You can find us at our website, www.uranus-awards.com, where you can also get more information on the awards. And remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and as we're leaving our homes, be sure to join us next week as we discuss Beauty and the Beast and Coco. And we really appreciate all of your patronage, all of your the money you've been giving us on Patreon. It's helping a lot, but please, we definitely need more to make more episodes. So head on over to our Patreon page and help us make some more great content. And don't forget to view our live stream of the Uranus Awards on January 14th, 2018.
This is Going In Deep, Going Dark.